And we're back. Sorry about that. We're trying to nip these problems in the butt wherever they come up. Hopefully you guys can hear us normally now. Hopefully the sound is okay. If not, definitely let us know. Sorry about that. Let's get back to it. Dakin just got touched by what was obviously not an angel and was shocked for how many points of damage?
7.
7 points of damage.
Okay. Show us on this anatomically correct doll where the not angel touched you.
Okay, so now we get over to Calith.
Yes. Okay, so can I see that
The baddest of touches.
anatomically not correct?
No, it is. No, you literally cannot see 5 feet in front of your face. The fog is too thick. You would have to be. You can see the form of Cheer next to you. That is about as far as you can see. You can see your sleeping bag on the floor with your pack, and you can see Cheer. That's about all that you can see. You hear gunshots going off to your right. You can smell ozone and then crackling electricity to your left, and you see that small column of flame in front before you.
Well, if I can see Cheer in front of me, I will cast Heroism on her.
They're giving her.
Heroism gives her 3 temporary hit points, and she is immune to fear.
There you go.
Effects.
So you are heroic.
3 temporary hit points?
Cheer, no fear.
That is your action. You still have a move and a bonus.
I'm gonna kind of stay with where I am at by Cheer. And why can't I find my?
What?
Oh, there they are.
Ah.
And since she's also right there, and all that I can see, I will give Cheer
Inspiration.
And how are you inspiring her?
I am going to tell her.
Cheer, no fear.
What's the right? Be like the little scurrying thing you are. Take care of these,
Okay.
beastlies.
Okay.
We're good?
Okay. Wait, did we skip my turn?
No.
But and
Okay.
I will forego my
Your movement? Okay. Sure.
Hey, Paul, take a moment to check what scene we're actually on.
Calith rolled 1 better than you, Cheer.
We've got the
I rolled
battlefield
14.
up with all 3 cameras on the side, dude. I've got live right here. I'll tell you if there's...
He rolled 1 better than you.
Okay.
Go. Cheer.
No fear.
Because I thought you had a 13 and a 13.
No, it was 13 and 13. 14.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Oh well.
Cheer, no fear.
Cheer.
no fear.
Cheer, piss off. No.
Cheer, no fear.
What are you doing, Cheer?
I'm gonna go scurry and attack something. So I will be heading, turning directly from the fire and going straight out.
Okay, so you're trying to go as quickly as you can and straight forward. Luckily, you see your various pile of accoutrement before you that you can move around. You can move 5, 10,
Am I out of the cloud?
15 gets you out of the cloud.
And then I will. Oh shit.
As soon as you come out of it, you see
No, you're not afraid.
right here, right outside the cloud, you see what appears to be a very, very dark-skinned, obvious elf who's wearing next to nothing in clothing. The veins upon his hands seem to be molten hot, like cracks in lava. He holds a strange weapon in his hand that is currently on fire.
Do I know what kind of elf he is? Because I would know some kind.
Again, not every elephant is a wildeven.
I'm just.
And not every wildeven is an
I'm not saying
elephant.
that. I'm saying it's an actual specific type. You know what I'm
If
talking
you want
about?
to, if you want to spend your action,
Oh no!
you can.
I'm just asking.
If you want to spend your action,
No.
you can really study this. This is a quick one-shot
Shit.
thing. The only reason you can see this
Look at towards the tree.
standing out so clearly is because it is such a strange sight. As you come out, it turns to you, and this thing's eyes are glowing like hot coals.
Am I within
Yeah, that
range of
is.
an attack?
You've already moved 15 feet. He is 10 feet away from you.
Oh, so I could shoot and then read the remainder. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna shoot. Well, I'm gonna shoot and book it.
Okay, so bonus action to slice your finger.
Yep. So that's crimson, right? So that's proficiency plus level, or is it just level?
What? It's just level.
It's just level. Okay, so 3. All right. I'll take that into consideration, and these 2 and this.
Consider this.
Ooh, because that means I know what I have to do.
Is that good?
14 plus.
Yeah. That's gonna be 19.
as you take aim and fire, you see that with its other hand, it raises its hand quickly, and your lightning smacks into an arcane shield that suddenly springs up in front of it and arcs off of it harmlessly.
And then run off.
So you have another 10 feet of movement.
Oh, I'm gonna move the 10 feet.
So what?
And scream! Go straight down.
5, 10. Like
Yeah.
that?
Scream. You're not
Okay.
Oh no, I will scream and be like, "Scary man with molten hands!"
Yeah.
Move in the direction Cheer went?
She was next to you, so she bolted straight ahead. So you're going to run straight ahead as well?
You went to.
5, 10. Oh, when you get right there, you see exactly what she's screaming about. The man with molten hands. You see eldritch arcane lightning fire from Cheer's gun and smash into an arcane barrier a few inches away from the man's body.
Well, I guess I'll shout at him and Elven and what the hell are you doing? And let's see where
What the hell are you doing? He says as he starts to kill you.
honestly, I'll just slap the crap out of him with my hand. I don't actually have anything at the ready.
You could remove your sword as you're going.
No, I'll slap the crap out of him.
Okay.
Literally going.
Okay.
Trying to knock some sense into him.
That is a natural 16. What am I rolling to actually hit with this?
The dexterity plus your proficiency.
Dexterity plus proficiency, that makes it a 20.
20 is a match.
And you take 1 point of slap damage.
He,
As he gets reprimanded.
Slap him.
Bludgeoning.
In his own
you've apparently, she's gone slap happy.
She's gone slap happy.
Okay.
She's gone full Jaja.
She slapped you.
Now it is the scout's turn. Now that this one has a clear target, he is going to shoot at Cheer, who is right in front of him.
No fear.
Cheer, that is a 14 to hit.
That misses.
This arrow flies right by your face as you're trying to run laterally away from him to find some kind of cover.
Wouldn't it
The
be with disadvantage?
elf that is on you as she's outside of the fog.
No, but him. Yeah, Dion.
Huh?
Well, which one fired?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The one that is fighting you has this Kuthtar in his hand, takes a step back and lunges, trying to pierce you in the chest with this thing. That is a natural 9, so 13. No. You parry with your dagger, pushing the blade away.
I object to that.
You smell that faint hint of burnt wood. A very familiar scent. This one here, since it cannot see where Gunner is, actually, it can see where Gunner is. So this one is going to take a shot at you, now that he has a clear target, and this one's going to take a shot at you. So the one, first shot on you, you have regular cover, so +2. Natural 2 is not going to do it. The arrow uselessly breaks on the rocks before you. The other one firing at you, that is a 16 to hit. Okay, I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Poison.
21.
That's good. 6 points of piercing damage.
Stone. Stones and dirt.
Okay. How much does it?
7, so.
Okay. Dakin. Remember to roll in the.
Sure.
Dakin.
Alright, spiritual weapon.
Another 7.
Is that always right? Well, we don't have it ready.
No, it's in the other room. That's okay. We're going to do this. We are already so far behind. We're not stopping.
Oh, it would be next to him.
Next to here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can, and now we can attack him.
Yes, you can.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay, so for the first thing, we finally finalized our critical system and our fumble system. So now, as opposed to simply doubling the damage or rolling the dice again, we're doing it this way. So, maximum damage on the attack.
Okay. And that's is it plus my the bonus twice or just once?
No, it's just one.
Okay. So that's 13 damage.
Okay.
Force damage.
13 force damage. I will note that down.
If it matters. It might.
Okay, so pulling a single card,
Okay.
7 of spades. Would you like to spend your gambler's chip, the only one you currently have,
I would
to draw a second card?
I would keep that.
You'll keep that. So, 7 of spades gives you an additional D10 to your attack roll.
All right.
And the 7 of spades is gone from the deck for this combat.
That's an extra 7, so it's total 20 force damage.
What
The
happens if you
hammer-
have 54 crits in one combat?
Then I tell you guys to change your dice because they're obviously loaded. This spiritual hammer smashes him in the back. You hear ribs crack as his breath leaves his body. The sparking energy from his hands cascading onto the ground as he falls to one knee, placing a hand on the ground, slowly standing back up and getting back in the fighting position. That was a hell of a hit. That was your bonus action.
Yep. Stop action. Wow, you should have done that. Okay, that's cocked. Alright, so does a 15 hit?
15 would match, but as he stands up and sees your mace coming down towards his head, he raises his hand and a arcane barrier appears between your weapon and his head.
That ain't fun.
Yep. Okay.
I will move around.
Where?
Just like where my weapon and I are flanking.
Oh, well, you don't get flanking bonuses from your weapon.
Oh, well, I'll move anyways.
Okay, so you're still gonna. Okay, so we're gonna put you to where you're trying to get it between him and you. Okay. So, Dakin, that ends your turn.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, ending the first round of combat, we are back to One Eye.
I will attempt to stab him with my dagger.
Roll to hit.
That would be a 14.
14. As you lunge forward, he parries your weapon away.
Okay, offhand.
Bonus action attack.
That's better. 17.
17. As you fainted with the first one, doing a basic attack just at his stomach, he parries it away, leaving himself open, and you jam your blade into his side.
For
Damage
4 whole piercing damage.
for 4 piercing damage.
4 pierce.
He cries out in pain as you wrench the blade from his body. You still have movement in action if you'd like to take it.
I'm staying right there.
Okay. Where you have some cover.
You can dodge,
Gotcha.
right, as a cutting action?
Yeah, I suppose.
So, as you see that arcane shimmer between that you managed to get around with your hand suddenly just fades out of existence.
So he just got slapped by the by the naked
He
woman
did.
holding a spiritual animal, and he's just being reprimanded like she is his mother.
He will lower his flaming blade at your neck, and an elven say, "Yield, all of you," and that will be his action. Gunner, you can tell he is ready for anything at this point. Gunner.
30 feet towards the elf and shoot him in the face.
So you're gonna try to get right up to him, or
Other side of the rock.
so you're getting adjacent to him, or
Adjacent to One Eye on the other side of the rock.
okay, so you're right here.
Yeah.
Okay, trying to get as much cover as you can.
18 to hit.
18 is a hit.
10 damage.
He is not looking very good as he takes another shot in the side, and it literally throws his left leg out from dropping him to his knees. He rolls out of the way of your slash as he comes down. He's up, but he is not
Action
looking
surge,
good.
shoot him again.
Roll a hit.
16 to hit.
16 is a hit.
It's only 5 damage.
5 damage.
Oh,
He
okay.
is not looking good.
It's 3.
He raises his hand up and moves, and you blow a hole right through his left hand. He cries out in pain. He is bleeding profusely, but he is still fighting.
Looks like I ruined that boy's social life.
As 2 gunshots go off, you see the face of the elf twist into a sneer, and he's going to swing at your head. That is a 19 to hit.
That's it.
Okay, so that is... that is 7 points of fire damage. Okay.
You are fired.
And then coming back around to this one,
You are fired.
this one is going to turn to you and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. Dang it, I don't get any bonuses, but that was good. That's 19.
19? Okay. So you take 5 points of thunder damage, and you are not thrown away from him.
Alright. Wait, that was
You hear him curse. Do you speak Elvish?
Yes.
You hear him, damn bastard! And you see him just take a step back, and he's ready between you and your spiritual weapon. He's ready.
Speaking of which, I took damage, so it's 5 DC.
It is half the damage, so it'd be that or 10.
Okay. Whichever's higher.
Whichever's higher.
Well, the 10, I dropped my spiritual weapon.
So
I rolled an 8.
Yeah, it's the sound of that wave of thunder crashing into you makes you lose concentration, and your spiritual weapon disappears. Now with that not behind him, he's turned to you, and he is in a defensive position. Now you are close enough with all the light and everything in the air. You can see that his hands seem to be covered with rocky protrusions that are covering the inside and outside of his hands. And that's where that electrical energy is still cascading down. Callith, we are to you.
Well, it's a shame that I do not understand Elven.
You do not, and you can hear gunshots going off. You hear people screaming, cheer screaming.
But they still sound like they're all up and fighting?
Roll a perception check.
Cheers before Caliph.
I know, we adjusted the order.
That is a 11.
11? It's really hard to say if anybody's fallen at this point. Nobody is screaming in bloody pain.
Oh,
Besides, Fionn is screaming in pain at this point from being caught on fire.
Since I can't see anyone, can't really help much, I'm just going to kind of squat down a little and ready action, Vicious Mockery.
Okay, so the first enemy you see?
Yes.
Okay. Cheer.
Is the fox still around, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I need a constitution or a concentration check for the fog.
I was gonna let it drop anyway, so it's irrelevant.
Okay, so as soon as it hits, boom, it's dropped. So you can see.
gone. In that case,
That changes stuff.
that changes everything that I would do.
So the first one you would see would be him, the one that is aiming at her. She's running to the side still.
And he's within 60 feet.
He is within 60 feet.
Then Vicious Mockery.
So what is the DC?
It's 13.
13, and it is a wisdom.
Yes.
So that is a 10 plus 2 is 12.
12.
He takes the damage.
Yeah.
Psychic.
So D4 psychic damage, and he has disadvantage. I will mark him with
So
that.
D4.
What do you say?
It's a D4 plus anything or just
D4.
Then that's 1 point of damage.
1 point of damage, and his next attack has disadvantage. Cheer, we are to you. Do you want to move at all?
Since I'm now exposed, yes, I will run over to that tree,
So 5,
taking
10,
cover
15.
as possible as much from them.
Okay,
All of them.
cheer.
Run
You see
behind
Callith, yeah. So you run right behind him.
him and shoot at the one that has the lava hands.
Okay, so the one that is on Fionn. Roll a hit.
Because I like him.
That bad?
Not enough to hit.
Hold on. I have that. Do they will make a big difference? Not really.
What is
right?
your? What is
I rolled a
that?
4, so I'm gonna say.
Well, what is it?
So
A 9.
it shoots. I mean, it's you run it into Cal, and Cal steps back, nudging your shoulder, and your shot goes errant. You still have another 10 feet of movement and a bonus action if you'd like to take it.
I'm going to get behind that rock.
So 5, 10. Yep.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Fionn, we are back to you. Is there a bonus action you want to spend or no?
No, not unless hiding.
Okay.
Maybe stealth. I don't know.
That's a thieves.
That's a road thing. Yeah.
So it'd be a full action for you.
The words of the Vesher Stable's head, ringing in Fionn's ears. She shifts. Leave!
Oh,
Jesus.
okay.
Wow.
You nailed it.
Oh my god.
Okay. That's it?
Is your ear okay?
That's it.
Okay.
Delay. I'm about to get it.
Roll them in Scout's turns.
Yeah,
Now that they have full view of everybody,
RIP headphone users.
Oh, I'm shifting.
yeah. Shifting, not
bonus action.
bonus action.
You, sir, the elf now sees you hiding in the tree, but has a clear line of sight directly at your back, and he is going to attempt to shoot you in it. That is a 16 to hit.
Well, yes, that's a hit.
I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm not good at these. Oh,
Nope.
2 minus 1.
You take 6 points of damage, and you fall unconscious. You are also poisoned.
Oh, remember you had those 3 temporary hit points.
This one here does not like what's happening to his friend over there, so he's that one's going to take another shot at One Eye. One Eye, that is a 14 again. Then this one is going to move into position, trying to take some cover. This one here, with disadvantage, is trying to follow Cheer as you run to the rock. Good thing I had disadvantage. That is a 15.
That matches, actually.
Okay. That is 6 points of damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is it magical?
It is not.
Hey, is that the one who I vicious mockery?
Yes, he had to. If he didn't have disadvantage, it would have been a natural 20.
Oh.
Or would.
Would you roll?
5.
You are unconscious.
You are unconscious. As the arrow hits you, you fall asleep. You are also poisoned. Then the one that is fighting you is going to take one last lunge and try to stab you in the chest. Natural 19 is a 23 to hit. That is 8 points of piercing damage. And as he pulls the blade out, he spits on your chest. And do you speak Elvish?
No. But I would know a couple of words because of my past.
You definitely recognize the word bastard mixed in with a short phrase that he says.
Okay.
Is it
Dakin.
loud enough for any of us to hear?
No. It's the direct talk to him. Gunnar probably heard it, but that's it.
And Gunnar.
You're up, Dakin.
Bonus action turn invisible,
Okay.
and then flank with the one that Fiona is attacking.
Well, I don't actually have anything in my hand. I'm just slapping him.
But you're still assaulting him. You're still throwing him off, so I would still give him
But I
advantage.
still get advantage.
And you're
I'm
invisible. Yeah, you're invisible. Roll the hit.
Oh, that's only D6, but okay. That is 22.
22 is a hit. As you're invisible, he does not see the attack coming, so cannot throw up a shield. But you are now no longer visible. Oh no, yours. As soon as you attack, yeah, as soon as you attack.
Once I attack, then he takes
damage was that?
8 bludgeoning damage.
8 bludgeoning damage. You crack him in the back. You hear him, "Ugh!" You can feel the heat from his blade, but even more so from his skin.
Nothing in Elvish, nothing personal.
Okay. One Eye, we are back to you.
Stabby.
Roll a hit.
That is a 16.
16 is a match. Damage, please.
6 piercing damage.
As he pulls the blade out and spits on you, right as he utters the last syllable of his curse, you stick your blade right under his chin, and the dagger goes into his brain. Pulling it out, he drops to the ground. He is dead.
I direct this toward Gunnar. I'm like, all right, the next one.
I would like a perception check from you, please.
18.
You see both Cal and Cheer are down.
Okay. What is that yellow thing right there in the middle closest to you?
Cactus.
Barrel cactus?
Hug it.
Can I get behind that?
The 10, 20, 25 will get you right here. You'd have to use your bonus action to get the rest of the way.
Well, don't dwarves have 30 movement?
25.
Could I use that for any sort of cover, or is it just a...
With how short you are, I mean, the cactus sits about this tall, so you're a few inches taller, so it'd give you like regular cover, but it wouldn't help somebody like Calith or Gunnar or Bacon.
I'll take cover.
Okay, so using your bonus action and your move action to get that.
Hug it.
Okay? Any other actions from you?
That's it. That's my movement. My attack.
Okay, it is now. Now this guy looks at you and just turns from you, looks you in the eye. Huh. That's interesting. He is going to go ahead and the fire coursing from the weapon he's holding turns from regular fire to a green, sickly fire as it erupts out, and he swings at you.
Is that okay?
That is a 19 to hit.
Really? Yeah.
That is
Suck.
that is 10 points of piercing damage and 4 points of fire damage to you.
Oh, I'm looking really bad.
I'm sorry, 3 points of fire damage to you. That. Now he's gonna. No, that is a cantrip. So he is after he hits you with the blade, flame erupting over you that seems to arc from you and smash into the side of Fionn, burning her exposed flesh. You see him suddenly blink out of existence and reappear next to his comrade. Gunner.
Get within 30 feet of the guy that Dakin was smashing on.
So, beeline.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you get right there is 30 feet.
I'm not a smart man.
That's fine.
Shoot him. 16.
16 on which one?
The one.
The first one he was smashing on?
Yeah.
Oh. As you you aim your weapon at him and fire, you see him go like this, and that same arcane energy comes up. Your round ricocheting off of it.
Chicken shit.
Is that it for you?
Yeah, no bonus.
As that happens, you see him raise his head and just starts charging at you.
I guess he ain't chicken.
10, 20, 30, gets him right up there and lunges at you, his hands exploding with electricity as he tries to grab you. As he comes at you, he didn't realize that Calith's bag was on the ground, and it ties up in his feet. He stutters for a second, and you manage to easily dodge it. He has disadvantage on his next attack. That was his natural one. Calith.
Yes.
You are snoring away. Cheer, as are you. Theon.
We'll go ahead and mosey on over to Calith and check on him.
You
Casting a sidelong glance at the one with the bow, probably.
You can see an arrow sticking out of him, and he is snoring away happily. You can spend your standard action. Your eyes open up, and you see Fionn is standing above you.
And
Leave! Grab Fionn.
that's
As one of their comrades has gone, they don't seem. This seems now it's do or die. That is your move, and you still have a bonus if you'd like to take it.
I don't think I have any bonuses.
Okay. And speaking of which, as you say leave, he turns to you as he's aiming at Calith, turns up to you and fires. That is a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 10 of diamonds. You are currently bleeding.
Wonderful.
And this is his third shot, so I do need a Constitution saving throw from you.
No, that's a fail.
What is it?
There's literally no point in telling me it.
Well, but
That's
I do
how
need
bad of a fail it is. It's a 7.
a 7. So as you wake him up,
It's a 6.
it's a 6? Okay, so as you wake him up, you're hit in the shoulder with this arrow and fall asleep. You are poisoned and unconscious.
And leave.
And bleeding.
Oh.
Then
I still don't know how
it
much
is.
damage I took initially.
That was max damage for that is 8 points. This Wilderman is going to shoot again at you, the one that is the same one that has been shooting at you. That is a 15.
Match.
I need a Constitution saving throw, please. and that is 4
It's a
damage.
pass. 19.
19 is a pass. That is 4 points of damage. Then this one here is going to change his target over to Dakin, as Dakin seems to be very badly hurt. That is a 15 to hit.
Nope.
You raise your shield and the arrow thunks into it uselessly. Alrighty, that is all of them. Dakin, it is your turn.
I'm gonna cast level 2 Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay, roll it.
Oh, that's good. So that is. I had it ready. I don't know why I didn't. Cure Wounds.
Spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Okay.
So plus additional 2, so 5, right? So plus
Yeah.
5? Okay.
Oh, plus 4, so plus 3, so 7. 7, 14, yeah, 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
You still have move and a bonus if you'd like to take it.
I will, I'll move towards and kind of like, bonus I can't do anything, but.
You can get right up to him.
And then in Elvish, why are you attacking us?
I have to wait till his turn.
Yeah.
One Eye, back to you.
I'll flank the target right in front of Gunner.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 gets you right there. Do you want a bonus action to get in, or do you want to use 2 attacks?
A bonus action.
Okay, so you have advantage on this attack.
So
17 plus.
21
21?
by 22.
22 is even seeing this arcane barrier that seems to almost predict where you're coming from. You manage to get around it and jam that blade into his back.
Okay, so that would be a total of 10 points of piercing damage.
He cries out in pain as you stick your dagger right into his upper thigh and then twist and pull out, a gout of blood splattering onto the floor. He staggers for a moment, still seems like he has fight in him. You can see hatred burning in his eyes.
Okay.
The Geomancer that is on you, as you rush and scream in Elven, "Why are you doing this?" The response you get is, "A life for a life." And he is going to attack you with... Oh, actually, hold on a second. I need to see if he still has that up, because he's been hit a couple times. Let me see. That's not an easy pass. Okay, his weapon, the last time he took a hit, the flame on it went out. This time, it erupts again with that flaming green energy, and he swings at you again. That is a natural 17, is a 22 to hit. 23 to hit.
Okay.
That is 6 points of piercing damage as he slides it right in between the plates, or right in between the mail of your chainmail armor, and manages to find the spot. It doesn't go in but maybe an inch into your body, but it's enough that weapon is so goddamn hot. It thankfully cauterizes the wound as it touches. Then that is, he doesn't have that anymore. He's only got 2 more of those. So he is going to go ahead and stay right where he is. Gunner.
Bonus action, holster the pistol. Move action, pull the buoy.
Okay.
And split him like a wallop.
Roll a hit with advantage.
18 plus.
18 plus.
23.
So 23 is a hit.
Oh, 22 plus 23, that's a lot.
Yeah, that'd be nice. 13 damage.
13 damage. Wait, how 13?
8 plus 3 plus 2 for duelist.
Oh, okay.
Offhand straight.
He is not looking good. You stick your blade into his side as he's on his knees and pull out. A gout of blood explodes from his mouth and splatters onto the ground. He stands up weakly and seems as if he's ready to make his final attack. And Gunner, that is all you're doing?
Bonus move standard.
Okay. Then he is going to go ahead and attempt to punch you in the face. That is a 17 to hit.
Still has disadvantage for the critical fumble, or?
That is correct. So let me see. Oh, yeah, natural 19 on the 9. So,
Yeah, that's a hit.
so, yeah.
18's a hit.
Then 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And 4 points of lightning damage. And that is probably the end of him. Callus, you are up.
You are up.
You are awake. You see Fionn fall to the ground next to you, asleep.
People get disadvantage on range when I'm on the ground, right?
Yes.
Then I'm going to crawl a little more towards Cheryl, just a little,
Okay.
but to stay in cover. And with thaumaturgy, I'm going to shout at both of them, "Wake up!"
They do not stir.
And then I'm going to, since Fionn is bleeding, I am going to use Healing Word on her.
Okay.
And roll. 1 plus 3 is 4.
4 points of healing to you.
Yay.
Cheer, you are snoring away. Fionn, you wake up as a pain throbs through your body. You take 2 points of bleed damage, but you are awake.
So I guess that didn't stop the bleeding.
Yeah, the wound is still openly bleeding.
So a crit will do to you.
Well, what it will do to you now.
Yes.
Let's get that straight.
Okay.
Crit will do that to you.
At least one of you woke up.
It got a little more lethal.
No.
Magic stone straight at the idiot's forehead.
Okay, with disadvantage, because you are prone, unless you stand up first.
I'll stand up, I guess.
Okay.
Just throw him a rock. Da-da-da. That's a 16 plus.
16 plus. That is a match. At a 16.
Yeah, so definitely a hit.
7 plus 5, so 21.
That's absolute max damage. 8 points.
8
I'm sorry, 9 points.
9 points of damage. You crack him in the forehead as he. Oh! You see, he has no more arrows that he's holding in his hand, and he doesn't seem to have a quiver.
I said leave.
You see him, son of a bitch! His blood is pouring into his eye, and he looks up at you and just grimaces. You do hear him curse in common, by the way.
I was talking to an elephant.
Such foul language.
And it is his turn. He throws his long sword to the ground, pulls out a strange-looking weapon, and charges at you, Fionn, screaming as he does.
You'll probably hit.
That is a 5 of diamonds.
What is it with you and getting critted?
Yeah.
As he's running,
Punishment for being somewhat pacific.
as he's running at you,
How dare you.
screaming, his foot catches on a rock that he didn't see. He stumbles and literally throws his weapon past you. And dinks into the ground about 10 feet behind you. And you see him just kind of...
Leave.
This one here, that is all 3 of it, so this one is going to move in. 10, 20, 25. So, he is actually going to stop here, and I need a dexterity saving throw from you and him. And he passes.
I fail.
Thank God for evasion.
I don't have it.
18?
Not till
18?
6.
You are suddenly glowing purple.
Very fine.
You're purple.
So just
He is
me?
grimacing.
Just you. The other guy passed, and so did he.
Okay.
And this one here is going to... He has fired all 3 of his arrows.
Thank you, Pussy Monkey. They're not too insurance ones.
30. And piggybacking off of you guys as you guys are all trying to do...
You haven't given us that in situations before.
that is correct. So I will negate your advantage, but I will not give him advantage. That is a natural 15 plus 4 is 19.
That hits.
Okay, that is 7 points of piercing damage. And that is the last one. Dakin, we are back to you.
No, I haven't killed any of your kind in a while. That is a 15 plus 5, so that's...
That is a hit.
Oh, guiding bolts, that's what I meant to say.
Oh, so you're shooting right at him?
Yeah.
You will have disadvantage because he is adjacent to you.
No, that's cocked.
That's such a weird...
It's going straight for the 15
That's an
too.
edge.
Yeah, that is 11.
Total?
Yeah.
As you aim at him and fire, he just ducks out of the way.
Alright, bonus action. Can I do anything with our bonus action? No, I cannot.
I can think a lot with bonus.
Actually, I can do. No, that was. I should have done the other thing.
Is that guy within 30 feet by chance?
Which guy? Of you? 10, 20, 30.
Yeah, advantage.
Oh, okay then.
From
I was just thinking about that. I haven't used the Raven, but I can use my reaction. To
Oh,
say,
so okay, so you're gonna use your reaction.
advantage negating the disadvantage.
So the first roll is a 15.
So the first roll
so
is
it's
that
20.
is that is a hit then.
The guiding bolt that does. Wow! 12, 18, 19 points of radiant damage.
Jesus!
Yeah,
So
literally 3 sixes and a 1.
As you're concentrating and you feel the will of Sabbath fill you and radiant heat begins to emanate from your hands, you push forward and right as you feel like you're going to miss, you get a shining bit from the moon just seems to twinkle at you. And as that happens, you shift just to your left and instead of it flying uselessly past his head, you bring it down and aim straight for his chest, hitting him square in the chest, knocking the wind out of him as he screams in pain. You still have a bonus and a move action.
Move. Move action. Kind of. I don't see anyone else. I'll move to his. What was it? 3 o'clock or something? Yeah.
So this way.
Yeah.
How far are you moving?
I just kind of
Just a
position.
step?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bonus
Alrighty.
action, and that's it. Yeah.
One Eye, we are back to you.
I'm going to stab the guy that I stabbed before
Roll the hit.
without advantage.
But you still have a person adjacent, so you still get sneak attack if you hit.
Attack damage if I hit.
That's pretty good.
That would be a
+5, right?
yeah, 19.
19. 19 is going to hit.
Okay, that will be 7 points of piercing damage.
You step up behind him and stick it right between his shoulder blades. For a moment, and then you feel his weight slump back against you, and you can let his body fall to the ground.
Okay, I'm going to use my movement to position myself to give my comrade at arms
Advantage?
on his attack
Okay.
if he doesn't shoot.
Okay.
And my bonus action will be to stab this guy.
Roll a hit.
Go for the kidney.
Do it.
That's
pretty good.
That's going to be a 22.
22 is a hit. Damage.
7 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. So now is this guy's turn. And this guy is going to go ahead. Let me check something real fast.
Drops a spell.
He is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from you, Dakin.
Alright. Does a 16 hit?
16 is a match.
Alright, that is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
He, as you crack him, you see him visibly slow down, hobbles to right here. To right there. Aims his hands out, and fire rushes out of him, completely covering the swath where you stand. As you look, I need a dexterity saving throw from you, please.
Area?
It is.
Just me? Or also his companion?
We'll get to that in a second.
Fail.
Okay, so that is
Right now.
Maybe when the dice plops.
16 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And as the fire hits you, you see the fire
I'm down.
roll up over you. And as you fall unconscious, you see the fire licking away from his ally.
Wait. 14 plus 16. Yep, that's more than 25.
That is the end of his turn. Gunner.
Charge the geomancer.
Charge this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. 20, 25. Go ahead.
Crit.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Okay. That is a 9 of spades. Do you want to spend your coin to get another one or no?
We ain't seen it yet. Let's see what happens.
I like that.
Add 2d6 to the damage, reroll ones.
Wait, does that include from this first hit?
Nope, no.
2 ones.
Yeah.
You're all ones?
Like if you roll it. a
It's
second
just the first time. You
I
reroll
know,
once the first time.
20 damage.
20 damage. As you rush up on him and stab him through the chest, he just looks up at you, and you don't speak Elven.
But can I hear him?
Roll me a perception check.
You still have
That is
advantage on those.
15.
You still have advantage on those perception
Oh,
checks. So.
Yeah, yes, you do.
That's 15.
You hear him say through blood-caked throat, "My people will be avenged," as he falls to the ground and dies. It is
Dramatic.
now
Uh,
Caliph.
bonus, second one.
Roll it.
D10 plus 5 to roll, right?
Yep, D10 plus 3.
Do I
11.
see?
Oh, you are unconscious, correct?
No, he's a
No, you are
I'm
awake,
awake.
yeah.
Do I see when I go down?
Roll your perception check with disadvantage, which would give you a straight roll because of her raven.
Oh, that's a 22.
Yes, I mean it happens right as you look back. You see him get hit full in the face with a wave of fire, and as it peters out, you see him laying on the ground.
So that looks like that. He's been knocked unconscious by damage.
Oh yeah, he looks pretty
Okay.
worse for wear.
In that case,
Heal, sinner.
I am going to crawl over the chair, smack her across the face,
You are now awake.
and then I'm going to
What is the range on?
60 feet.
Oh,
Okay.
Then a level
Yeah,
2
within 60.
healing word.
So 2d4 plus 3.
Why am I rolling so low? 6.
So you are awake with 6 hit points. Caliph, that is all of your actions. Cheer, you are now awake.
Don't hit me.
You
I'm
asleep?
gonna stand up and shoot the closest one to me.
You see the one is still on Fionn. And Fionn looks pretty bad, right?
So
Alright,
I'll
yeah,
shoot
that's
that
fair.
one.
Bloody.
That's gone.
No. I don't have enough health points to do nothing.
Yes, you no longer have it is just a straight shot. Unless you want to do it again.
Yeah, I'm a bonus action.
No, I think you can only do it once per. No, you can do it as much as you want.
Your
Yeah.
like modifier.
And the hit points went back too, though you're still down 3.
Yep.
No, I'm down quite a bit actually. Not
But
three.
you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So do you want to redo it or no?
Yep.
Okay, so slit. It
Living
goes.
on the edge.
You take 3 points of damage and your max goes down by 3.
I know. That's gonna be 19
19 is definitely a hit. Damage, please.
Remember, you've got Bardic Inspiration.
for damage.
No,
No, it doesn't work for damage.
It's only for.
he's not one of those bards.
No,
Which are,
no.
yeah.
I can do it for myself.
I don't get. Oh, you're on lightning now.
Yeah, because you cut it again.
So
Damage?
6 nice.
9.
9 points. Alrighty. You
2 of
the
which was lightning.
okay, the energy crackles and slams into his shoulder. He turns from him. Damn it! Weren't you dead already? And he says in common, Fionn. Yes.
Enough of your friends have fallen. Leave, please.
Persuade.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Advantage.
Do you say that in common or elven?
I'm saying it now.
Okay. Once again.
That is a natural 16 for a total of 18.
Okay, we'll get to that on his turn. That is your action. You still have a bonus and a move action.
No, I've got little reason to move, so.
Okay. Do you take an attack of opportunity?
No, of course not.
Okay. He turns, starts running, grabs his longbow on the way, and begins running very quickly directly away from them all. He will get off the board this round. This one, though, is having none of that. Is going to rush at Gunner.
Also Elven.
That is a natural 20. We've had quite a few natural ones and natural 20s already. in
Yeah,
this
we're really
combat.
testing the limits of this damn system.
That is an
What
ace
did
of
that
diamonds.
Oh,
that sucks.
it's an ace.
What's the max? We assume it's
Well,
max.
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay, so that is a severe diamond pool. So that is adding 2d8 damage to the roll, re-rolling ones. He rolled a 2 and a 6, plus the 8 is 16 points of damage.
Hey, I'm not down.
How bad are you looking?
Barely.
I'm not happy.
I'm going to give the other Wilderman perception to see if he sees that you have woken up. That is a natural 2, so no. So he is going to attack you. And he will move where he can take advantage of the situation. That is a 17. And that is 6 points of damage. Taken. You still up?
I'm still up.
Okay, I will go
Second wind saved my.
flank the
Not
dude.
that you.
Okay, now what you're doing is you're negating his flanking bonus right now.
Okay. Well then, before I get there, I will Sacred Flame him.
Okay, so that is a dexterity saving throw.
You can do it right there.
That is a natural 8 plus 3. No.
No?
Let me double check. Plus. No, that's the wrong guy. Oh, that guy's dead. I can remove him. That is. Yep.
8 points of radiant damage.
And that is. The first damage. No. Different guy. 8 points. He is not. He's still okay, but you can definitely see he's taking some hits.
How bad do you look? Really bad?
He is covered in blood.
Healing word, bonus action, and then flank him. So you get. That is plus 3, so that is.
Plus 5.
Actually, plus 9. Oh, yeah, no, it's plus 6 for me, but that is 9 damage. 9 damage, 9 healing.
I was gonna say 9 damage.
9 damage. Like, haha! I was a Wilderman the whole
Now
time.
I'm down.
That ends this round with 1 eye. You are awake.
Okay, half my movement is stand up.
Catching the one next to you by surprise.
And
That one has not been moving.
I will say very loudly, if you know who I am, you know I won't quit. And I will flank him and stab him.
Okay, so we got a whole weird thing going on.
Conga line!
So what's happening right now is you're negating both of their advantage, but you and you will still have advantage. You do not.
I kind of figured I'm in the middle of the party.
Yes.
You're in that sandwich.
You're in, yes, that is a weird kind of gangbang thing going on.
Sandwich.
So the
that
question is, which of you is the
a
clown? Which of you is
23.
the...
That is a hit. Damage, please. This will be the first
Who's the
damage
left?
that this one is taken.
That would be
I don't know if
7
he's kind of
points
facing
of
you.
piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I will
Bonus action.
bonus action stab him.
You're the Joker. Because you're to this right.
Does a 16 hit.
16 does hit.
4 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. First couple of blade thrusts have hit this one. It's dodging out of the way, but you're just barely catching its legs and arms as it's trying to dance away from you. Gunner, we're over to you.
Split the one in front of me. Damn. I'm rolling today. 20 total.
20 is a hit. Damage.
That's gonna be 9 damage.
Red, right now. 9 damage?
Yep.
Okay. This one looks pretty hurt, but you can see hatred in its face.
It can see hatred in my face.
Caliph. No other actions, right?
No.
Caliph. Cheer, you're on deck.
How bad does Fionn look?
Oh, did you?
She looks. She's been hurt.
Am I still bleeding?
Damn it! I forgot about that. Yes. That's another 7 points of damage.
Yes.
Yeah, now she's definitely, yeah.
Now she's definitely.
Thank you for
looking bad.
reminding me. I gotta remember that. I even put the thing on you to remind myself.
I'll
That's what
spend
that
another
red thing was.
Yeah.
level 2
I even put that on there to remind myself.
healing word on her.
2d4 plus your spellcasting.
Oh, that's better. That's 5 plus 3 is 8.
So with the second application of healing, you are no longer bleeding.
How much was that again?
8. 8 points of damage.
So you basically healed 1 on that round, pretty much. You still have move and a
14.
Yeah, that's right.
standard. You
I
finally stand up.
No, I'm going to stay where I'm at, but I am going to shout at the one that's behind One Eye, or that One Eye is behind,
Okay.
and I'm going to shout. What do I want to shout? I'm going to shout at him that you are impossible to underestimate.
That is a 14.
A 14.
Sorry. 12 plus 2.
I think that's just barely a pass. Let me just
I think he mad
double
didn't he?
Yeah.
check.
Or was it
I believe your
over?
DC is 13. Like
I think it's
everyone
13.
It's 13.
Okay.
else's. Like everyone else.
Alrighty. Cheer. And Fionn, you're on deck.
For about
5, 10 more.
yeah,
15, 20.
yeah, okay.
25?
No, 20 was
20? Okay.
I don't want to get too close. And then I
Now, I know it looks like a line of combat, but they're all just kind of intermingled together and fighting each
Oh
other.
no, they're in a conga line. Okay. This is how
Give me
Cheer
my
sees
illusion.
it. No, this is how Cheer sees it. I'm gonna shoot the one closest to me.
Okay,
So
the drow.
one
Go ahead.
in The gunner one eye sandwich.
That's an awful sandwich. That's a hit.
Yeah.
Full sound.
That's a 20.
That is a hit. Damage.
10 on the dice.
Yeah. So yeah, 10.
10 points of damage. Your lightning strike cracks and hits this one in the stomach. You just see it double over and...
That's like 13.
13?
Yeah.
It still vomits. Just a little bit more. Like
Blood?
2 more points level of vomit. Whatever that means.
Blood or nasty wildebeest?
Yes.
Probably it's lunch and a little bit of blood mixed in. Fionn.
Oh yeah, you guys just had a wonderful bolt of lightning go between you two with some thunder going on.
Thunder and lightning.
Very, very friendly.
Oh, no, the Dave said.
Right then, I guess I'll move over to and
That's magic.
wait. How can I even make it to dinner without
You
expecting
see
it double?
bones?
No. But you can double move over to him if you like.
I will.
Yeah, so it's getting
So now I'm neither to your left or to your right. I'm stuck in the middle of you.
Oh my gosh. Take 6 points of that.
6 points of undamage.
So that means
It is the Wildeben's turn. They realize that there is they are not going to be getting out of this. So they are going to fight to the death.
It's gonna
The
take one of us.
Drow is going to turn to One Eye and is going to try to attack One Eye.
Does it say anything?
It's screaming in Wilder. This one's screaming in... Oh no, this one, no, it's the
Drow's
other one.
speaking different
This one is
languages.
speaking in Elven.
Okay.
You're catching... It's curses. It's, die, son of a bitch, you son of a whore, son! You know, like... That was a 16, and that was a 16 to hit.
But it sounds so
that is
beautiful
a
when I
match.
say it.
Max?
Wiping
That
grass
is
with
7
no-
points of damage.
I'm down.
And with One Eye falling over, this Wildeven jumps onto his chest and looks like it's going to begin just stabbing him repeatedly. The other one is attacking you, Gunnar. That is a natural 17, so a 21. And that is 11 points of damage. I think that's the first time I roll max damage on one of their weapons.
barely. Fucking hell!
Are you both like almost?
I ain't happy.
We're not going
And
to discuss our hit points.
I need to realize how much.
taken.
That's what I was like. I figured I was on deck. I'm gonna use my action to do Challenge Divinity and forget how much it is. That's what the actual is. I believe it's 5 times my cleric level.
Oh, yeah, I think it's 5 points per level.
Yeah, let me see. Yup, 5 times my
Now,
cleric,
is
so
it
15.
does that recharge after a long rest or
Long
short
rest.
rest? So you guys did take a long rest, so you're fine.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. So I'm gonna give
Some of this.
8 to actually.
Oh, actually, hold on. At the beginning of your turn, Dakin, can you pass this to Dakin, please?
Ooh. So I'm gonna have to read this.
I'm a gunfighter and I do more damage with my knife.
Well, apparently your dex is terrible.
All right.
My strength's just a little bit better.
I'll take that. I will do my channel divinity. You also look pretty bad, huh?
I ain't
That
happy.
one's unconscious.
All right,
This
full
one's
15
like
to
gonna
you then.
die.
So you suddenly
10 and 5.
So you suddenly, again for the second time this combat. And it is your turn, One Eye.
Half my movement is stand up, and I'm like, all right, you fucker, and I will strike with advantage. Wow, that is
what
a
happens.
miss.
Miss. Second attack.
Second attack. Um, 19.
19 is a hit. Damage, please.
9 points of piercing damage.
Your first one again. You faint as it turns around to try to take advantage of you and just stab you right through the neck. You twist and plunge your blade straight into her heart. She staggers for a moment, falls over, and breathes no more.
Is it
My
nice having
movement?
English in the park?
Will be to go up to Gunner. And I don't have an action, but he's basically going to touch.
Okay.
He's going to touch Gunner, but
You're up, Gunner.
You creepy little perv, don't grab my ass.
Roll it.
That's the only thing you reach!
You have advantage.
Someone's gotta
But
reach,
aside from
okay.
gently caressing your
17
thigh,
plus
That's a hit. Damage.
8 damage.
8 damage. That is not looking good at all. Callith.
I will now stand up,
Okay.
Get closer.
and then I will run. I guess the last 15 towards the fight.
Okay. Coming up behind here.
Yeah, and then I'm going to shout at the last one that you have more dick in your personality than you do in your pants.
That is an actual 7. As it stops for a moment and just looks at you with utter hatred, Gunner takes the opportunity and just rams his blade into its stomach, lifting it a couple of inches off the ground and pulling the blade from it. It only had 1 hit point left.
You can't just have him die from psychic damage.
No,
like that
there
By the way,
enough
that's
of them
number
have committed
4.
suicide already. It's already happened too many times, so I'm trying to mix it up just a
No,
little
I like the thematic. Plus, I get credit for the kill.
bit. Okay, we
Cries at
are going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back here. We're going to try to make this one short because we got a late start today, so we're going to try to make this one short, but we need to stretch our legs, and we need to do a little bit of housekeeping here real quick, all right? So we'll be right back.
Yep.
Why do I have
See
both?
if the yoke can float.
Now, obviously, you guys don't get benefit from this until you take a long rest.
And we're only halfway through our long rest, so.
This is interrupting your long rest. If you wish to take one, you're going to have to start over.
Okay.
Then I'll level my character up later.
I've already leveled it up.
I'm
but I'll
doing.
just-
Well, like I said, I would say do it now, so that way it doesn't slow us down later. Because we still got time.
What else?
Can you hand me another soda, Joe? And I'm going to have to squeeze behind you, Cole. Because I need to take this.
Alright,
It
I'll
either
move.
gets me up to 17 decks or
Can you get by?
15 con or 15 wisdom.
Let you go up another.
Okay, so what did you do? Yeah, Caliph, with your level up.
I haven't done anything yet.
What are you doing, Jared?
I'm working on it right now.
I meant with your level 4, so changing. Are you going to take a feat or are you going to take the ability score increase?
I'm gonna look at the feats right now.
Okay.
I'll probably take it.
I'm sorry?
Ability.
Ability? Oh, so to what? 2 to what?
1 to dex, and I'm debating on the second one, either wisdom or
Okay.
con.
Okay.
I need to look at
Already
the feats.
2 to wisdom.
2 to wisdom?
Healing.
Taking the healer feat? So now you can use healer's kits, right?
I could use them before, but now I can use them to
To actually heal, yeah.
Because I want to stabilize plus 1 health point, and I can use it to restore 1d6 plus 4 plus apparently the entire
And you got your thing,
plus
right?
the dice of the person.
Paul? You got your stuff already, right?
So it's the die that we roll plus our con, right?
Yes, so you got
38.
8.
So it's 38 now.
That was one of the ones I was debating, but I.
So basically a 1d6 plus 9
What's
for
your
8.
wisdom?
It's a 12 right now.
Because it's every even that really matters, unless you're planning for a head. Like,
I have a level 6 ability and score increase that I'm going to use on wisdom.
okay, then that might be.
If I do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you're planning the head, like
This is
especially with the.
Senator's Guide to Everton.
The other thing is it opens me up to
I
multi-class.
do. It's over there.
Opens up for multi-class ranger.
Yeah.
Be on the book. Shit.
That's one of the reasons why I did 13 to charisma, in case like story wise I become a
That's
pal.
Well, if there's a story reason for it, multi-classing to rogue and ranger makes my damage retarded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does.
So,
Especially
It's like,
especially
hey,
rogue
there's
for
an
sneak
ally
attack.
adjacent to that guy. Sneak attack, fuck you.
But with
Why do you think I did rogue and ranger on Autonos?
well, I go assassin, which gives me sneak attack as long as I go first, and I have like plus 12 to
It's auto crit when you go
Yeah.
first. On top of everything
So
else.
auto crit advantage off it.
Talk about gunslinging.
Yeah, that's the point.
Fuck your life.
want to add the point of wisdom then. More
Yeah.
points eventually.
That's what I was thinking is add it to wisdom. I mean, I could go both into dex, but that's lands on an odd number there.
Yeah, you may as well wait 4 levels and then bump your dex up to 18 later.
2 levels.
Because
Or,
he's a fighter.
or, yeah,
Fighter.
but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
later on, you may as well bump it later on.
Because I'm going to go to at least level 7 fighter before I multi-class.
Yeah.
There's no point not to.
Okay.
Unless somebody gives me a fluff reason to multi-class.
Those could find their way into this.
So you think wisdom's the best call?
Yeah.
I mean, con's not going to do any good. Strength isn't going to do any good. I could bump my strength to 18 if I put them both in strength. But nah.
You're a gunfighter.
Yeah. Somehow I end up doing most of my work with my knife, but I'm a gunfighter technically.
Well, to be fair, you chose that this time. You chose that this time because you like that one that you charged in. The next time, like they got away from you, you could have pulled out your gun and started shooting.
No, that was the point. If I hadn't gotten in a knife fight, I would have pulled out the gun.
Okay.
But I kind of got mobbed.
You're like, well, I guess I gotta.
Apparently I gained an extra spell.
Yep.
Nectar, alert,
Well, not yet, but yeah.
animal
What do you mean?
inhibitor,
What do you
arcanist.
mean?
Well, when you take a long rest.
Yeah.
Crossbow expert.
Yeah, that's why.
defenses,
That's why I'm doing like the little
Okay.
highlighting for
You're
stuff
doing
that changed.
all-
Everybody
Yeah.
everybody got what they need?
For
Yep.
now,
No?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm good.
But I mean, like I can work on it while we.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about what you were thinking about doing was raising your dex.
That's what I was thinking about. But do I want to do that or do I want to go int 1? Because int 1 point goes up to the next modifier.
Do you need ends?
Which modifier do you use more?
You use dex a lot more right now.
I do. So I should
Because remember, you have your ability. That's why you take that ability.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say if it's from what you were talking about, We're no combat again right now, so we won't come back to this one, right? No more war.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure I don't do it.
He got bored of it.
Oh, so.
I can't roll.
Slide 40.
What is that? I'm not gonna roll that dice for hit points anymore.
So you think just both on dex them?
Sometimes.
It's what you use the most, and remember we had a long conversation about your at level
Progression,
4
yeah.
was the reason you took that other ability is because it was better for you to raise your dex first than to raise your int early.
Yeah,
It's
you're
better to
right.
raise that now and then raise
And
that
then
later,
later on, yeah.
or else
Okay.
that ability that you took is less useful.
Alright, so I'll do that one.
Planning the multi-class to rogue, I'm still better off going 7 fighter.
It's up to you.
I mean, that's up to you.
I hit lightning reflexes at 7.
Oh, actor.
Depends
actually
on how many
looks
levels of rogue you want to go.
3.
Then I would wait
Okay.
till 7.
Yeah. If you're gonna dip, then I would just wait.
Yeah, I'd wait, but I would raise your dex minimum 1 point. If not 2, well, because you could do wisdom 1 point now, dex 1 point now, and then 2 levels do dex 2 points.
4 observant. You raise wisdom 1 and get double proficiency on.
And welcome back. Well, you guys may have got to see us talk about characters there a little bit. Apparently, apparently that happened. But hey, why not, right? A little peek behind the veil. So, whenever after combat, any of the cards that we use get shuffled back in the deck, and as tradition now for what we do, whenever the deck is used at each game session, we do this beforehand, but during a session we will do this in front of you guys. I need you to cut that deck for me, One Eye, and then hand it back.
That's such a
It's up to the player.
Hey, that's up to the player.
Yeah.
You guys take your fate in your own hands.
We're gonna die!
Now, the dust has settled. One Wildevin has escaped. The others lie dead. One Eye, you have a long history with them. This, looking at the makeup of them, does not feel like a raiding party. This does not feel like that. This feels different. I would like you to roll me a history check.
Any advantage due to my
I'll give you advantage due to your
background.
background.
Roll 20.
We are
so
not
that
sponsored
would
by Roll
be
20.
A
It said roll a 20.
11.
11. Good enough. A raiding party for Wildevin, almost universally, they have range support, they have melee units, and more importantly, the head of every Wildevin raid party is the Geomancer, but based upon earth and healing. You do not recognize any of these as being that.
All right. First things first. Who saved me life?
Well, a few of us did that, but
Well, just remember that if you save me life, I owe you a favor. It's up to you to keep track of it.
alright.
So it's 542.
It's a lot for you.
That was
Specific
nearly a
number.
spoiler, actually.
But I know what's going on here.
I got to be careful.
It appears my past has catched up to me.
So the head Wilderman was speaking about avenging his people.
Aye. If that's what he was saying in his language.
He was?
Well, I served with Gunner over there and the Hilt. But I got transferred
Make an investigation check.
mid-war down to Serpent Spine Pass to guard the only pass south into our lands. Half of the war I spent fighting Weldovan, the other half those traitors from up north. But in order to save me comrades, I was captured and taken deep in the heart of Wildovan land. They did this to me. They took me eye. I have their marks all over my body.
Do you show him any of those marks?
A few of the ones that are iconic.
Roll me a perception check.
And are you saying it's loud enough for all of us?
Yes.
That is a 14.
The weapon that each of these Wildermen were wielding is strange to your eyes. You've seen a lot of different people use various sticks and other things as weapons, stabs, boken, things like that, in a combative way. These are very oddly made to you. It almost looks as if 3 different pieces of wood, round pieces of wood, have been molded together and twisted and put to a point. You're not sure how it was constructed, but it leaves a very, very easy to distinguish mark, almost like a 3-tier, almost like a triangle mark, whenever it is stabbed into someone. And you can see several healed wounds from, or scars from one eye that are that same mark.
I escaped, and while I was on the run, vengeance took over. And I turned every Wildervan who was chasing me into my prey. I killed them all. I tried to wipe out the whole faction who tortured me for so long, but apparently they sent this party after me, so I will give all of you a decision. If you want to work for me, this will forever be at me back. This will forever be a threat. If you don't want to work with me, I'll understand, and I'll be leaving right away.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, some of you have been willing to still work with me, even though I've made a few enemies. We all make some enemies, and so far, we have still come up on top.
Besides, we've made the mark together. We're in this together.
We are in this together.
Well,
So, I will not be turning my back on you today.
well, there's also the question of a menace. On their rolls, I'm dead. So, I'm not keen on letting them know that I'm alive and breathing.
Well, you have given me some of your story. I will give you some of mine. A menace law doesn't always come into play with me. Feel free if you want to. Insight, I assume?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a 14.
Alcance.
A 14.
You seem...
Well, I'm not trying to deceive anybody.
Yeah. You also
you
didn't
know
give me much, too. I was like,
You know I'm not giving you a lot, but you know what I say is true.
Fion's gonna offer prayers to the fallen ones.
Okay. As you do that, you see Cheer is making her way through.
It is
now.
still nighttime, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
So,
Even
Wells' left eye is, left eye is still flat.
Wide open.
It's the silver one, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Cheer.
Okay.
The only thing that you see as you look at them, their bows are well made. Their garb is not. It seems as if they've been on the road for quite some time. You can see Wildevin tend to favor a thinner boot, something that is easier to sneak in, less constrictive. And they look like they've been on the road for a while. The only thing that you see besides the 4 bows that look like they're pretty good, though trying to sell them is not going to happen. One of the Kuthar, the strange sword, almost rapier-like blade that they use, you can see that 4 of them appear to be nothing but a typical weapon. One that you pick up, the one that the fire geomancer was wielding, is still warm to the touch.
What about the one that was flung accidentally to the ground?
I gotta assume.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, they're well made, but they are very difficult to use if you don't know how to use them.
Any knickknacks, paper, or anything on them?
Nothing at all. It appears none of them have any packs. None of them are carrying any foodstuffs. Nothing.
Is it a cold night right now?
Not really, but I mean, it's a full moon, but it's summer. I mean, it's
No, I'll grab the one that's still warm. How big is it compared to me?
it's taller than you.
So I kind of drag it, like.
Well, you can use it.
Yeah.
It's just like you using a longsword.
Okay,
It
so
takes
pick
2
it up
hands.
and then just walk it towards you guys. Who's carrying shit?
It is surprisingly light. It is lighter than your firearm.
detect magic.
It's warm.
You cast Detect Magic. There is a faint magical glow.
It's warm.
It's magic.
You don't use this.
That's special. Here,
I don't want to have anything to do with that.
we take the pointy thing, we put it in the bag, we sell it to the jackass in Brownwater.
Yeah. Speaking
Now,
of
wait.
which,
Wait. I got a question.
Donkey by shit.
When you say all over, do you mean all over?
Well, from what I know, they call me by a certain name.
what does that mean?
I didn't stick around to figure it out, but as far as I know, in the history of our land, I'm the only one to get away.
What's his position name? Come on. Can you make the sounds?
No, I think I'll know it when I hear it, but yeah, I stirred the pot down there by killing so many of them.
I know a little bit about pot stirring.
Yeah, we know you cook. Yeah, so all over. Like the twig and berries and everything.
As far as I know,
What do you mean as far as you know?
Pot stirring? Me?
You're confused too, Fanny.
It's okay.
I knew this would happen.
Never
It's
mind,
not
never
like
mind.
they forget. They have a very long memory.
We need to get back to Brownwater.
Why?
No,
I got a message from Sister Vrumadi during the fight.
but we need to find people, kill them, and then go back.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go kill the people.
See?
She's in dire need. She says that haste is of the essence.
Let me ask.
What is wrong with Bambooty?
Do you believe that my question is, should we split the party now? Or should we all go back?
Why should we go back? Priest's problem, not my problem.
She asks for your help, for help of me and
all of us.
yes.
Well, what is the problem? Do we have any other information?
No, but she wouldn't send that message unless it was really dire.
Like 200 notes dire?
Unless it was really dire.
Not my priest.
What did you say?
We have a few bodies here. We may take the heads back. And as far as we know, these were the ones who did attack.
Judge the severity of the situation.
How so?
I don't know, just the cosmos relaying information to me.
Well, I gave you some very pertinent information. You can use it with that what you will of it, but that's really what you can make of the situation. Now, the tribal markings on these, you do not recognize.
Do I recognize them?
No.
That's what I'm asking.
Do I recognize them?
No.
Do they look like the people who might have attacked or done some of the ambushing? Because there was some Elven, Wildevin.
The ones that were doing that were wielding firearms. These appear to be Wildevin.
Hey, this isn't a normal Wildevin party. Usually the Geomancer uses healing and earth magic. These two were very akin to fire. So I think they were out to kill somebody.
Us.
And I think it was me.
Where were we headed? We were headed
To the east. West.
You were heading northeast, following them, but then the tracks disappeared. You guys had decided that you wanted to head west to Hamanu.
That's right. It would appear actually that we would have to go through Brownwater in order to make the quickest path. So perhaps maybe we should go back and see what Sister Vrumadi was up to. Maybe give the sheriff a brief update that of what we're doing, so that he feels satisfied. A win-win situation, as some people may call it.
Seems alright to me.
Were these Wildevin moving under pass without a trace?
Do you go look to see?
I will investigate.
Roll me a survival check.
Are you gonna ask anyone to help?
No.
I
Go
will
roll.
test my theory before.
Oh, I said no.
I'm not gonna help if you don't ask.
16.
16? You see there are very clear tracks. How far do you follow them?
I will go back to the party and say, well, I found this hunting party's tracks.
You basically go out far enough to see that it looks as if they had come in from your east, almost straight east into you. You can see where the tracks where they moved around the camp trying to get into position, but you don't follow any further than that.
Well, looks like they came from the east. There's a trail we can follow, but I'm willing to sacrifice money to maybe gain more of a trusted ally in Brownwater.
You know, that appeals to my sensibility very well. Allies are usually worth their weight in notes.
So,
Notes.
and plus,
Oh, good.
other than the trail of these Wildevin, we don't have anything but that town to track the others.
Agreed. And it's going to they will probably beat us there either way.
So,
We can still exact our revenge, per the sheriff, and make the sisterhood happy.
well, that one that got away is definitely going to talk. So,
Yes, but I don't believe that one that got away is part of the party that we are looking for in the first place.
no, it's another threat at our back.
Which means we should probably move post-haste. I mean,
Won't
quickly.
the Yule Kips move?
That's a good question. Let's go find out.
At this point, you all are exhausted.
Wait a minute. Why do I give a wet shit what some preacher thinks?
Well, if you want,
I saved
Preacher
life.
heals you.
you may continue on this endeavor without us. Or you may choose to go with us. I am choosing to go
Well,
with Dakin over here.
he saved me life. I owe him. So if he decides to go, I'm with him.
I don't presume to speak for Chia, but she does tend to like to follow me, whether she's in charge or not.
Kept you up a couple times. Multiple fights.
But I'm at a conflict because I also owe my life to you, and I believe you're going back.
If you like, I can sit here and discuss the finer points of why this is a good idea.
Oh, shut up. Fine.
Okay.
Anything to shut your mouth.
While they're talking. Just kind of turn around and start.
Should I do a perception roll? Or no?
Now, maybe we should take a nap.
Heated argument.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Okay. I believe it is. That just went up.
Well,
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah.
have to
No,
take a
so
long
I'll
rest.
do the.
Which word? Ooh.
is that good?
No.
What?
I rolled a 2, so it's a 5.
You see her do something.
But I think you're kind of used to me doing something.
I'm used to you doing lots of things. Can I see her do something? Can I?
No, I'm turned
Notice
around
while
and I'm
I'm
hunched over a
discussing
body.
Oh, do you see her? She's mixing stuff between bottles. I mean, you have no idea what she's really doing.
Okay.
It's the same stuff she always does that looks like Greek. I mean, it's all weird to you.
It's all weird, but I
It's all relevant to you.
sort of know. Oh, but
Yes. Does this urgency the geriatric preacher lady has require us to ride through the night, or can I take a nap first?
Cheer also, would like a nap before seeing Van Booty.
It also depends on the Yule Kips. If they won't move, it doesn't matter.
you are correct.
We'll go
We
try
should
move
first. Come on, let's go check on the Yolkips.
They're asleep.
them. Go ahead.
They were spooked up, but you guys had them tied
Sit
down
with Ghana.
a ways away from your camp.
Cheer,
The Wildeven
just lay down.
left
for a
them
bit.
alone, which I would like you to go ahead and roll me another history check with advantage.
Just leaned against Gunner like this.
Ooh, nice.
That would be a 20,
Not natural, but 20.
not natural.
If this was a raiding party, the first thing you would have done is killed your old camps.
Well,
It's not a raiding party.
definitely not a raiding party. Our Yolkips are alive.
They've kind of settled back down. It's been about 30 minutes at this point since the fight kind of died down, and they obviously are still kind of skittish, especially with all the gunfire going on. They are not completely broken yet. These aren't battle Yolkips. These aren't meant for this. But they're tied up, which prevents them from bolting, and they've settled down, and they're very much huddled together for safety.
They're asleep. Well, I guess that gives us time to rest. Who's on next watch? Cal and I just finished ours.
It was One Eye was on the next watch.
You just see Cheer like slunk next to Gunner.
I'll take the next watch.
All right, then.
Reload the 6
How many
gun.
of those swords did we get?
Go to sleep.
Aside from the special one.
If you wish to carry them around, you guys can for your own personal use. You found 4 of them, and then the one different one. You know that they will not be able to be sold.
What about the special magic?
It may be hard to find someone to buy it, as their weapons are seen as crude and uncivilized. But magic is magic.
This is something I could use.
Anyone, I think.
Given some practice, it's different from your longsword. I mean, you can really slash with that. This thing, slash, Adam, it's just like whipping somebody. It doesn't hurt nearly as bad, but that point is...
So it's a pointy car antenna.
Pretty much. This thing, imagine like a diamond-tipped bayonet, just much larger. Or diamond-shaped bayonet, excuse me.
No, you will notice. Cheer's not next to you. Cheer's like this on Gunner.
You know that with death hands, these things can leave wounds that are very, very hard to heal. So what do y'all do?
Rest.
Cheer's already asleep. And on Gunner.
Bunt.
Behind you, the
The white is showing.
Keep touching
What's
it.
showing
and
bad?
I have touched nothing.
You touch
Yes, you did.
everything.
It's all
Quit touching stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys bed down for the night? Nothing else happening?
Do you move me?
No.
Holy crap.
Who's on watch after me?
That would be...
I think it was supposed to
Cheer.
be Cheer.
So I know who to wake up.
When Cheer's already like this, like,
You're asleep.
For the first time, Callus stretches out and has a very comfortable
The three of
sleep.
you are exceptionally groggy for the next hour. And you will fall asleep very quickly and sleep very deeply.
Alright.
And very nicely, considering that I don't have someone constantly tugging on my tail.
Well,
Or biting
you're
it
in such a
down.
deep sleep, if she was, it probably wouldn't wake you. This is probably adverse effects from the poison coursing through your system.
I kind of like this
You're
poison.
just kind of like, will eventually go like that and like hold whatever part of you is right there.
Cheers.
Make
It's
us
poison.
that way.
So-
we're even further
Okay,
upstream.
move.
I'm all alone and watch.
I would like you to go ahead and roll a perception check,
Okay,
please.
are you in there?
Yeah, I can't tell. But I'm like totally out.
Okay,
So it'd be 11.
I think
11?
I'm right now.
You're kind of tired. Your blood's still pumping hard. As you look over, what do you all do with the bodies that are sitting in the middle of your
You
camp?
probably should have rolled them.
I see about moving them
Yeah.
if I can.
They're pretty lithe. The big one, the one that seemed to have and you can still see it. It's almost like rocks are growing out of his skin.
Oh,
I would have
the body
like
part of it.
placed them
Really?
in,
Where are you taking them? How far away?
far enough away.
How far is far enough?
Let's see. Yeah, 10 feet, 10, 20 feet out of camp.
Okay, so
They were
technically-
already, they really weren't that too awful close before.
I'd like both of you to roll me perception checks, please.
That is a 16 for me.
That's an 8.
You, as you're moving the bodies out and setting them up, you can see in the distance there are some strange shadows on the ground, probably 100 feet from your fire. Or, I'm sorry, from the edge of the light of your fire.
I don't see this.
Scavengers?
Scavengers.
Or. A little thing?
Sacred Flame, 60 feet out. Just to kind of.
Okay, you focus on like a plant and it just does no damage to the plant itself, but I mean, it illuminates for a half a second, but it doesn't really provide a whole lot of light. It's more like a candle in the distance.
Can't see anything without getting closer. I'll probably tell One Eye about that. Keep an eye out for that.
As you can see them bedding down, you can see them moving the bodies out,
Yours already out.
Okay.
having a conversation.
bedding down.
Well,
Keep eye out.
I will. I'll keep me one eye out for anything that happens. I rolled an 11.
Okay. You all set up the bodies, and you all can take yourselves a much needed rest. 2 hours pass. Nothing appears to be amiss during the night.
During that 2 hours, I will wait till everyone's asleep and then offer a prayer to me deity.
Okay. 2 hours pass. You know,
I'll wake up cheer.
you're shook awake.
And no difficulties with it, with the poison and stuff?
You're groggy, but
I'll be tapping her foot.
Man.
Oh, it's your turn to watch, love.
I don't want love. What is love?
No.
Baby, don't hurt me.
I switch over to Dwarven and I say, it's your turn to watch the camp.
Okay, hold on. I'm still very groggy from the poison.
Alright, let me help you up then.
Okay.
Watch out
Why are
for-
you touching? Okay, hold on. Okay,
I told
I'm
you I
awake.
was going to help you. Get up.
I'm up.
Okay, well, Fionn told me to watch out for strange shadows.
Where exactly?
Well, she said she saw it when, she was handling the bodies with Deacon.
it's a fairly bright
Bacon.
night. There's not many clouds in the sky.
I think you call him Bacon.
I call him Taken.
Well, when you're trying to speak other than Dwarven. You call him after a pork belly sliced thinly and cooked in a pan.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Common is not my second or third tongue.
Well, I'm not making fun of you. I'm
Jumps
just
off.
trying to explain
I would like a perception check.
the
Go sleep. I forgot
With
this.
advantage since she knows it's there? No.
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 No. Is that good?
It's a 19.
19?
Plus?
With how bright the night is, you can see probably
Like-
130 feet away
Yeah.
to 150 feet away from your fire. Non-natural shapes are on the ground.
Like animal-like or.
It seems like almost a deformation in the earth itself.
Was anyone supposed to take watch with me?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Cal was on the next watch.
Oh, okay. So I will
I thought I was on the other one.
reload.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant.
So
the
I'll
previous watch.
reload and just watch.
Okay.
While mixing.
Nothing seems to happen. Do you ingest or no?
No, not right now.
Okay.
But I will be walking around
Okay.
while mixing. Just
It's more like if you don't want to lose the benefit of the sleep that you've already had, you still have to kind of take it easy in order to get the
it's
benefit
not
of
like
that.
just
So yeah, so you're not like marching around
Yeah, no.
and doing alchemy at the same time. You're kind of maybe thinking
Idly,
about it, you
yeah.
know, idly playing with
just
it,
shaping
and
it
just
if I
kind
have
of
to.
slowly
Mixing,
moseying around,
like just
so
going like that.
you don't
Mixing.
lose the benefit.
Yeah.
2 hours pass without any problem. At this point, it is about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Who's next?
Pion was next. I'm sorry, Gunner was next.
I'll go wake up Gunner. Gunner.
Right, leave me alone.
See over there.
Over where?
There's okay. Look where the checkpoint. See
Roll a
where the
perception check.
checkpoint.
11.
He knows the general direction. Okay.
Yeah, you know the general direction. She's pointing at something, but you got some sleep in your eyes.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's a big, dark, creepy plane.
Oh, that's right. To conceal at that night. Anyway,
It's pretty bright for you.
cheap seat. Lots of shadows on ground. Bumpy. So keep eye out.
Shadows on the bumpy ground. That's
No, like they
An
make
astute
ground
observation.
bumpy. No, like you make. It's like when under blanket and you make blanket bumpy. Yes. Never mind. She'll go to sleep again.
don't make the blanket bumpy, all right? You don't want to listen to that out here.
Cheer! He said cheer, pure!
Stop making me laugh, you.
You're asleep.
About your 2 hours pass. It seems. It's just now you starting to hear the wilderness begin to creep in again. 2 hours pass, no problem. You guys you were interrupted in your rest, so you're having to sleep a little bit past dawn in order to get a full rest. And Fionn is the last one on watch.
All right, I'll kick her away.
You are at this point fully rested,
Now you have all your bonuses.
I know, right?
and as the first person who's taking a long rest, you are now level 4.
Suck it, I beat you all. Like a few hours.
Lily has made you.
Right?
I know, right?
4th level is so ugly on
Just
you.
wait 3 hours
Go ahead and roll a perception check, please.
with your new bonus, whatever that is.
There you got your tail.
We're only 4th, no. That is it doesn't happen until 5th that we get that. That is a 22.
5th that you get what?
Plus 3 proficiency.
Oh, okay.
Oh, see,
But I'm sorry, what was your roll?
A total of 22.
22?
Using you as a bed like
You have never seen
As
that
the
type
sun
of
begins to
sorcerer.
crest and paint the horizon with the colors of dawn, you can see, not only do you see the deformation about 150 feet away from camp, but you can tell what it is. It appears to be a pile of gear that has had cloaks draped over it to try to hide it from sight.
Wander over. Poke. And look at it.
The reason you can see it, it looks like it was pretty well hidden, but it's almost as if someone in the night had removed something that was holding part of it down, which allowed a breeze to fold over the cloak, and the underside color made it much easier to see. Beneath it, you can see what looks to be a smattering of various possessions of what must be a half dozen or so people. Possessions such as keepsakes, drawn pictures, what you can assume would be a basin to wash in, things like that. A variety of various clothes, changes of clothes. In this, you will find in a... Go and roll me a investigation check, actually.
That is a 3.
You didn't really roll it. You just dropped
Yeah,
it.
no, I hit on that down. There it goes, rolling better, but no, not much.
You find a wooden box that you just kind of set aside. You find a pair of boots that you set aside. You find a belt that looks fairly nice. You find bags that look good. A lot of this stuff looks like it is very well made, but it is obviously handmade. Probably made by one of the people who now lie dead within the dirt. Go ahead and give me a straight intelligence check.
Yeah, it's gonna go well. Oh, hey, look, I rolled what I rolled before. It's 7.
7?
You could have rolled that.
It's a lot of possessions for something to just be carrying around, but that's all you can really gather from it. And a lot of the stuff has got some weight to it. So it's going to be really hard for little old Fion to maneuver all of that stuff back to the camp. But you can take a few things with you if you like. Or you can wait for the group to wake up.
Assuming they're organized, I assume they were all kept separate.
It seems as if there is 7 different bags and a variety of other stuff that they seem to be carrying.
And grab one from each of them.
Grab what? One what?
One little keepsake from each of them.
Okay. You grab the box. Boots look fairly nice. They look interesting. Too small for one of their feet. Look like almost a child's size of boots.
Huh? What is this?
So you can take
ample tracts of land.
you take an assortment of various knickknacks and other things back to camp. After a couple of hours, you can hear that the Yokeps are beginning to get ornery as they wake up and their stomachs begin to rumble. You, knowing how to care for these animals, know that the barrel cactuses that dot these places, the Yokeps are adept at eating the innards of them. Giving them enough slack, they can easily feed themselves by literally ripping open the cactuses and feasting upon them.
Save them some trouble with the sword
that.
for it.
You've seen them before.
I'll take the one I ride to a barrel cactus. And that's
Well, you'd be asleep at this point. Well, when they're getting hungry. Because you guys would sleep a little past sunrise at this point. But about an hour past sunrise, everyone starts like slowly waking up.
And every barrel cactus.
Your 2 hours of being the only level 4 person in the party is done. As everyone else levels up to level 4.
I got to be special, suck it.
But you're always special.
You guys see around the campfire is a collection of items that you all have never seen before.
Where'd this random shit come from?
What is this?
With
What
the
is
hour
that?
that you've had to mess around with this stuff, it took you a while to figure out how to open the box. You've seen most boxes open up like that, but this one just actually had a slide piece on it. And it took you longer than what you're going to admit to anybody to figure out, but you finally got it open.
No, they wake up to feeling going, yay!
That's probably what wakes them up. Inside are 8... almost look like glass beads. But upon closer inspection, they're cool to the touch, and they seem to have some give.
Squishy. Squishy, squishy, squishy.
Yeah, they're fairly squishy.
Oh.
Fanny.
Hold up, where'd you find this?
Fanny, what is this?
Point in the direction of the...
You can see, now all of you can see it, because she kind of threw the stuff over it and started rifled through stuff. You can see there is a pile of somebody's belongings out there.
Oh, look,
Let's
the
go
wheelie
check.
trash left their crap.
Well, let's go check that out.
I will
And I'll go.
poke chair and be like, let's go
I'm
check
not
the
going to
box.
focus on the pile of stuff.
I like beads.
I'm going to try to find what
Okay, fine.
Cheer one.
they did with the person they killed to get the stuff.
It's their stuff.
Well, we don't know.
You would recognize this stuff as being around Wilderman. This is Wilderman made.
Alright, well, they made it, guys. This is winning
And
shit.
I will give you the same roll that you had last night for your knowledge check to see that these guys were carrying their homes on their backs.
Oh, shite. Well, this changed things. They might be the last of the tribe that I killed.
Oh.
You don't recognize that the tribal markings are not the same as the tribe that got.
That just means that if it's just the last of the guys that you killed, that means that no one else is looking for us.
Danny, let me
Well,
see.
all the Wilden are
Well,
good for
hold
me.
Then you have your 8 items.
How about this? We get them all together. That way I can make sure I figure out which ones are magical or not.
Okay.
I will
just
go
one-
check the bodies.
Cheer just wants
The
one
bodies
thing.
or the belongings?
The bodies.
The bodies? The bodies have already been kind of tossed over. They looked like they were ready for war. They had nothing extra on them. You can see that there are quivers of arrows, and you can see a couple of the containers that they carry the poison in, that they would have dipped the arrows in. They were simply ready for a fight, and that's it. They were...
Seeing that Chair has a couple of times have been interested in some of these vials, I will take those containers.
Okay. There are 3 of them. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
And he makes himself go to sleep.
What you do not smell is Halloween powder. Odorless. Taste
Let me
it.
smell this real quick.
Dissolves
I do not get
instantly
a
in a
bonus on perception yet.
Just be here.
Remember, but you are taking alternates.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that bonus, but I mean, I don't get.
Yes. Go ahead.
I took a feat.
Go ahead.
But
Just
we'll
roll.
discuss that
2
later.
feet?
12. That is a 15.
15. 2 of them are empty. One is about half full.
I will take that one and leave the empty ones.
Okay.
Do you want now? And I'll just take one.
But you can't. She can't just.
Now this is in the belongings, not the bodies.
Oh, that's not the bodies?
No, that's in the belongings.
The belongings.
okay.
I already searched the body.
No, the bodies literally had nothing on them,
I will be rifling the belongings in my traditionally discreet fashion.
including.
You see Cheer looking
Yeah,
at
no,
me,
no.
like, slowly going.
Hold up. Let's get all together.
As I've described, like now that you guys can see it under the light of day, this literally looks like what you would imagine homesteaders would be if they're traveling. It is just a collection of a variety of things. You can see bedrolls, you can see family pictures that have been drawn. You know, they don't have photographs,
Wait, do
obviously.
you have photography in this one?
No.
Okay.
There is magical photography, but that's it. Like what
What's his
what Wolfrith does,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, you gotta sit
The,
there for
uh,
half an hour.
Go ahead.
It is literally. It looks like a smattering of random possessions.
Oh, look, a pile of crap.
Well, let's look through it. Maybe some of it's useful.
How you guys can? If you guys try to go through all of it, it'll take you about an hour. The most interesting things that you guys find some necklaces that look like they're well made. You guys find that box with the orbs in it. A small set of boots that now that you can see in the light, you have no idea how they're sitting together because it's made out of leaves.
I'll hold him up over Cheer's head.
Hold up. Wait,
Who
hold
wants the boots that fit her? Who wants the boots that fit her?
She can't even reach that high.
That's the point.
Can I go climb up him?
You
Wait,
hold,
wait,
them,
hold
you
up.
hold them
Jump off him
down,
and
they're
grab
still out of reach.
Once we have all this stuff together, I'll do.
Roll in athletics versus your acrobatics.
I'll let her climb. I'm
Okay.
just having fun.
So roll in acrobatics. See if you can do it.
One.
That's a 15.
Yeah. She kind of grabs him and jumps off you, and then I don't know, like something when she hits the ground, she turns you on like.
You are functionally climbing a creature that is huge for you. He's difficult terrain.
I'm gonna.
And
once we
I will
have all
also take an orb while Dakin is.
Does it look like anything was missing from the
Just be
pile
like-
of crap?
It looked like there was probably one set of person's bag that's been missing. With your check that you had earlier, you would see that there is a
The one
single
dude.
set of footprints that is heading off.
the one that she.
Oh, look.
Dude.
The wildy trash we let escape got their
I
stuff.
assume east. No.
North.
Well, it seemed like he fled for his
Detect
life.
magic on the pile stuff.
You again
better
see
off.
that the Kuthar that
better
Gunnar is holding does radiate a fairly strong magical presence. Each of those beads, which you see, she's holding one in her hand, you
Here,
can see
put it
glowing in her hand, has a very faint magical aura,
Ooh, that's
and the boots have a strong magical aura.
those. All right, so
Oh no, that is identifying. Never mind.
yeah, I don't. I just know detect.
You
magic.
just know magic, yeah.
It's like it's magic. So all right, so these boots are really magical. This sword thing is magical, and so are those little beads. So cheer.
Well, then that,
I mean,
those
back.
boots will fit any one of us then, if they're magical.
What kind of boots are they? They're tiny.
You know what? I wouldn't.
Cheer just like already got her foot like partially in one.
Also, I don't even know how. I guess it's the magic.
It feels. It is.
Ooh.
It is cool to the touch of your foot, and it feels fantastic. You're
Jeez,
like moving the foot around. It feels good. It might take a little bit of time getting used to it, but looking at it, you're not sure how it's not just falling off your feet, but it feels tougher than what it looks like.
Look at Cheer.
Wow, Cheer, you look rather earthy in those.
Well, I know a
Very
gentleman
usual.
Very.
in Brownwater who could tell us what this does. His name is Sparkfire. He works for
Oh,
Wing
him.
One.
Sparkfire. You met
Yes.
Sparkfire. How good of you.
Him, like,
Well, we could probably take all these items and have them identified then if you can do
Yes.
that.
Can I use
You know
But
what?
first-
It might be a good idea to have me go talk to him. Him and I have a kind of a kinship.
So,
Arcana.
and the thing is, you guys can use Arcana, but in order to figure out the type of matching in it is a very hard check.
We'll do it anyways.
You can try. You got a 5% chance to
You can
nut.
certainly try.
Tonight.
Nature magic for these things?
It's still
roll your dice and
Arcana. I would say Arcana or Nature.
Yeah, I'll roll it anyways. I don't have that too far.
Wow, that was.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jesus.
That was not.
That was a natural 20.
Don't roll in the thing. It's a nat 20. I should do that more often. I nutted it.
Did you mean to roll it?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It's just missed.
He looked to roll and he just can't hit the broadside
What'd you
of the
roll?
dice tray.
Don't worry. We'll find it later. We'll find it later.
Oh no, I got it.
Where did it go? You found, wow, rolled that far.
Yes, it did.
Okay, Fionn. The only reason why you know what these are is because you've actually seen these before, and it only now jogs your memory. Oh,
I have only.
No.
What are? Do you know what they are, Fiona?
Did you see Cheer going?
Can I just try to identify the little beads?
They make water.
They make water.
They turn liquid to water.
Oh, the beads?
Fresh.
So you mean I can mix some fetid water and it will be potable with these little beads?
I have a strange feeling that Fionn
Very useful.
How about we just put them all together?
Fanny
is
here.
most adept at those.
Aye.
Fionn tends to like water, I've noticed.
Yes. Fion does.
Which is rather strange
Fanny?
for a cat-like person.
No. Not you.
Tiger's
Fanny.
like.
Alright,
Well, obviously not for Fanny.
All right.
No.
Well,
I mean, Fionn.
at this
We're
point it's
wasting
about
time.
8 o'clock in the morning,
nothing useful left. Let's get
or
going.
about 7 o'clock in the morning. Sorry.
Fanny, can you make berries, please?
Yes,
Actually, that
please.
would help.
We are kind of hungry.
And here's Pete.
put it all
I'll put
together.
that back in the thingy. And I'll make berries.
And I'll carry the. Who's carrying the sword stuff?
Well, yeah.
You. I'll carry it.
Well,
Did you look at Belle too?
So, are you guys taking any longbows
Belt?
or any of the other kuthar?
I was
no.
grabbing the longbows
Okay.
and the kuthtar.
Wait, what belt? What belt?
It's-
There was nicer belt
not.
that Fanny found.
You
in the
might
bags.
find somebody, but you're not gonna. This isn't going to walking in the general store and selling it because no one's gonna buy it.
You know what?
Only
I know.
collector.
Let's just take that one nice, special one. And,
You mean the one that's in my pack?
yes,
Yeah.
The one Cheer already
And-
gave them.
unless anyone wants these, let's leave them here with the rest of the possessions that we are not going to take.
Probably what's for the best.
And I kind of stick them around the pile.
Can I use a sleight of hand to sneak my old boots into Cal's pack?
Sure.
Or just be
sleight of
silent.
hand
And do I do a perception?
versus your passive.
That way.
Oh, my passive, okay. Hold on, let me see what my passive
So you're wearing the boots.
Yeah, I'm wearing the boots.
Okay.
That's a 20.
Natural 20?
No, not
No.
natural.
Okay.
Do any of the weapons look particularly
passive.
strong?
They look well made. The thing is, they're tough,
Because it's changed.
which is odd because it literally looks like it's 3 branches of wood that's been twisted together. But you have no idea how they've been able to twist wood together, harden it as hard as it is because it almost feels like steel, and make it as sharp as it is because it's wood.
Snap the longbows and the things over the nearest rock.
So you can break the longbows easily. The other ones are very hard to break.
Just leave
I mean, it takes some muscle to break them.
Okay. Not leaving weapons for wieldy trash.
Fair enough.
Okay, fine. You may carry them back.
His is a 13.
You say that as you see him snapping them.
His is a 13.
Yeah, no, she slipped him in there. Yeah, I didn't notice.
Though it is pretty obvious that she's wearing the boots.
Do you even know what they do?
Is there anything else of interest in that pile?
That's what I've described as it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wincing at
I'll
every
take that
strike.
finely made belt as a trophy.
And it is not magical, but it is nice. It is a very nice belt.
Oh, okay, that's what
I guess
It's weird because you're not sure how the belt itself sticks together, but it's almost like Velcro, but with no sound. As you can put it around your waist if you wanted to, snap it down, and it holds in place until you physically remove it.
I think I'll roll it up and put it in.
Would it look like it would go well with a suit?
No.
Okay.
No. It's about that thick. Like it's
Very thick,
very
probably
braided.
light.
It's braided. It almost looks like it's braided hair.
Okay, so
take anything that looks like
berries or we make.
You may be able to sell a couple of the more finely made necklaces. Those
Already.
knickknacks. That's
I did it
that's
already.
probably it. That's probably going to be it.
Can't take it, break it.
Okay.
Can't sell it, break it.
You would have a much faster time if you wanted to set stuff on fire instead.
Yeah, fire's good.
Hold up. Is the plane dry?
But don't care.
Yeah, because if it's dry, it will create wildfire.
Burning wieldy trash. Burning wieldy trash.
Sandpaper. Yeah.
Okay,
Just got
Fion,
and let somebody escape that wanted to kill
let's
me.
watch it for about 15 minutes, and then please put it out with your
Why?
watery thing.
So what was the name of those?
Covered with dirt.
Yeah.
Beads of refreshment.
Alright, yeah. Needs a refreshment.
Covered with dirt.
Why?
Don't remember anything from what, huh?
Because we don't want to leave a
Yes.
scar on
Again.
the forest.
Yes.
Why?
But again,
Because... Well, you just listen to her.
if we put that with water, create a lot of smoke, attract stuff. We put that with dirt, doesn't.
Still fire, wieldy trash burns.
Yes, but then stuff we might need to handle later, get scared of, habitat. Yeah, habitat.
We're not hunting, we're
Ruined.
leaving.
Well, yes, but we might have to come back
Okay.
later.
That's fine. That's fine. We're leaving.
Let's just go.
As soon as
Oh,
he turns his back, I
You guys
kind of-
forgot to remind me. I'm sorry. We're going to pause for a second because Chex FX and Vigastino are our newest subscribers to our YouTube channel. Thank you both very, very much. While I probably don't know either of you, I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you outside your
I
house.
love you without having
Whoa.
sex. Imagine what,
So,
how much I love you once
thank you
he
guys
meets
very
you.
much. I hope you're enjoying the show as much as we're enjoying putting it on. All right, sorry.
One of those
Back
names
to
sounds
it.
familiar, though, and I apologize if I know you but don't remember. Yeah.
Right? It sounds familiar.
Well, let's get back into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We'll solve that mystery later.
I guess we're heading back to Brownwater?
Yep.
first, we're eating berries, everybody.
Well, we're heading back to Brownwater.
As
Yeah.
Gunnar turns back, I will send a message to Fionn, so you'll hear me in your head that says, please put out that fire.
Yeah, put it out.
Okay. So you guys gather your stuff up and begin heading back to Brownwater. I would like a handle animal check from each of you.
Thingy.
Hey, naturally.
I
Oh,
need to
that is,
draw for
14.
a natural one.
No, that is only for combat.
Okay.
Only for combat.
Speaking of which,
Okay.
21.
21?
Okay, that's a 19.
Finding my handle animal.
It's a top.
Oh, hey, I actually have a bonus. That's a 12.
Ooh.
Taken?
That is a 14.
And a natural 20, and you got a natural 1.
I thought it was charisma,
So,
but it's wisdom.
it's about a half-day journeys back to Brownwater. it takes a little more than that, as several times during the journey, One Eye's Yolkep decides to go a completely different direction. It takes a bit of work in order to get it to go back. So every once in a while, getting the other Yolkeps to literally head it off. Yeah. But thankfully, with your natural 20, it's only like an extra hour of time, so you negate a lot of that. So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you all ride into Brownwater from the Shield Maiden's way. So you're ingesting it, okay? I would like you to go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
What did you drink?
Poison, probably.
Not today.
Not today.
That's a 5.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh shit.
At some point during our trip, I will kind of nudge over to Chia, and I'll hand her
The bottle.
the container full or half full of poison and the 2 empty ones. Be like, I found this and I knew you would like them.
But
Yes.
Did I see that?
It's out in the open.
You know you can just show everybody. You don't have to hide things.
If I were hiding them, you wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
well, he didn't see it, so you hid it. You're proving his point.
No, he did see it though.
He did
It's not when he passed the chair, not when he picked it up off the packs.
I wasn't trying to hide anything from anybody.
I'm just telling you I understand your point of view and his equally.
I can appreciate the understanding of both sides. Brings close to my heart.
Okay. When you all get back into Brownwater, what is your first destination?
The church.
Okay. As you all are coming in,
Along that one.
heading south, you hear a whistle.
Look around.
As you turn and look, you will see. Sorry, give me 1 sec. Grassus, the Orcavitter male, standing in the corral of the Vesher stables. When you turn and see him, he waves you over to him.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Lady Marigold Creel informed me that you all were borrowing these animals, and should you return, you can give them to me so I can relinquish your animals back to you.
Okay.
She also informed me that from here on out, any of your animal needs are taken care of via the Creel household.
Wait, what?
Thank you, Chris.
Very nice.
We'll house your animals for free.
Thank you.
Animals
Sure.
you own. You know, you want to rent an animal, you still got to pay up.
So, cheer you can.
It's just fine, but I need you to leave those animals with me.
Cheers.
I'm surprised none of them bolted on you or got out, so I appreciate y'all bringing them back.
Yeah,
Bessie,
hand out the
very
reins, give him
nice.
Takes the 2 Arnoks that you all are both riding.
Just to let you know, this one didn't like me too much on the way here.
I've heard a rumor of this one that doesn't like anybody, so I wouldn't take it personal. But
Bessie here? Very nice.
I have your animal. Your animal's kept over at the. If you want to start leaving it here, I mean, we brush them and feed them. We take better care. You won't have to spend your time during the day doing it, but you can leave them with us. Your animal as well, and the pair of your animal. I'm sorry, I know you all do not have patronage here, but should you wish to purchase an animal, then
Wait, I'm dropped.
you guys can see his eyes are still pretty glassy.
I don't have money to buy anything with.
Well, they're always up for rent. Can offer you a discount.
I take care of mine.
You had his money.
What money?
One Eye's money.
You had One Eye's money.
For what? Oh, from when?
Oh my god!
Wait, no one gave it to him?
Yeah, no, you had it because you told
Yeah, you
us.
took his money. Yeah.
You told everybody. everybody.
That you
I'm
would
thinking, I
I'll
don't trust
take care
anybody.
of it.
I'll take care of the money.
And I'll give
Fiona
it to
will-
We'll,
one
we'll,
eye.
we'll say for well.
Okay.
Now it kind of dawns on you with everything happening that you like kind of open your wallet and like, wait, what is that? Oh, whoops.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give him a bow and go retrieve her yoke.
He takes all the yokeps that you all bring out, these saddles and everything. Gets your animals up. Looks at the two of you. Would you like? It seems as if your friends are getting theirs out to use.
Well,
Would you be in need of an animal?
I don't know about it. Let me walk over to the church and see what all-important thing we have to deal with.
Alrighty. Well, I'll be here.
Well, have a nice day, and I hope your life, all the good things in life happen to you.
It'd be a first.
I mean,
Great.
you're not dead. That's a good thing.
I kind of smack him behind the head.
Connor,
There's some things worse than death, young man. When you get older, you'll realize that.
Connor, we need to talk about way Connor speak to people.
What?
Cheer know things.
I know there are
Okay.
things worse than death, like working in a stable or...
And I hit, and that's what I just.
I'm
Shut
laughing
up,
and
Gunner.
walking towards the church.
I'm just walking with one. What do I say?
Well,
Probably
I
shouldn't
don't
say
think you realize the effect you have on people.
Sorry for him. I say directly to the stable master. Sorry for him.
So am I. Raised him since he was a boy. So he kind of wipe a tear away from his eye and goes back to doing what he's doing.
Did they already have service for him? Or
Yeah, we had it this morning.
no? Sorry, Fanny, that missed it.
Well, we're at fresh plot behind the church now.
You want Cheer to go with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cheer walk with Fanny.
We're going that way.
Oh, head to the church.
As you all make your way through,
Hold like two in your fingers.
there is a distinct difference in the way that Brownwater feels. When you all first arrived, it seemed like there was hustle and bustle. It was chaotic, but there was still structure and order to it. It seems as if the social fabric is beginning to fray. As you all move down the street, you can see out in broad daylight there is an open fist fight going on.
Yeah. So I want the big one.
There are more people that seem to be carrying weapons out in the open, that are drinking out in the open. There are more of these wagon merchants that now are trying to sell their wares. There is quite a few people in town that seem to be dirty and disheveled that appear to be buying new equipment that they can use. And excuse me, I'm very, very sorry about that. I should have already had that ready to go. Give me one sec.
Oh, that's gonna be.
Something feels different.
What the heck? Where are you?
Probably the
Where are you?
breaking of the spirit.
I will need another level 2 spell, by the way. Card.
Yep, we'll have to get that a little bit
What did
later.
I do? Just use a little.
I went ahead and updated.
I gotta be honest, I think that somber music was a bit more appropriate.
Well, for the
Considering
way
what
you
you're
all
describing.
feel, yeah. For the way, well, no, it is lively, but it is much sharper than it was before. This feels less like a cohesive community and is very much beginning to feel more and more like a mining town, like a boom town, despite the deputy's best efforts. As this is the first real violence out in the open that you all have casually seen as if nothing's happened. Nobody attempts to stop the fight. People are laughing. While they're tussling, you have a guy who actually poured his beer on both of them as they're rolling around the ground. But they are beating the hell out of each other. As you all continue down your way, you can see that now it was pretty much just what they were beginning to refer to as Market Row was what was filled with wagons. Now, in almost every alley between every building, you see that there are jam-packed full of various wagons. You see there are platforms being built so housing can go up. I mean, this place is exploding even more than what you all had expected. And not by simply a bunch of lower status folk coming in trying to mine. This is people who have been to the mines, made money, and are coming back.
Oh. Good honest workers.
Agreed.
Well,
honest.
If
The streets are crowded, and it does take a bit of work for you all to make your way south along the avenue.
See, there's another thing worse than death. Honest work.
I don't agree
Honest
with
work's
that.
the
That's,
biggest thing.
you know, I don't tell you this many times, but that's a very stupid thing that I just heard right now. There's honor in very menial tasks.
I probably wouldn't put it that way, menial, but definitely important.
Hunting, fishing, skimming, making things, bringing ore out of the ground.
Yes, you continue on with that honest work of yours.
You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I agree with Cal.
As you all begin to move further away from the Ember Inn, you realize that the sound of music that you all heard was coming from the inn itself. As you guys begin to move further south, you can just hear the people milling about the streets, going into various buildings. It is crowded now, more so than what you all were prepared for, and it seems to just be getting worse. So, making your way down the avenue towards the church would normally be 10-minute walk. Takes about 15-20 minutes. Those of you on Yokeps find yourself having to dismount and lead your Yokep through the crowd, as Yokeps don't like being crowded in so much. They tend to get a little ornery when that happens, so you're able to guide them through.
Make a hole, you might get kicked.
I'm going
Fair
to
warning.
take a trick that I saw from Fionn, and I'm going to kind of, rub underneath the cheek of the yellow cap as I guide him through.
And it works. It works, enough that you guys don't have to make hand on animal checks to keep them through, but it's your guiding hands that are keeping them in place, from bolting. As you all continue to the south, you will see the Amershard enclave. There are people outside waiting to get in. And you can see that the doors to the church are open, and you can hear people are inside.
I'll walk in.
As you walk in, you can see Sister Vrumadi in prayer. The doors are wide open. There is maybe 24 people now filling the pews that have their heads down in prayer as she leads them through a big day mass. This is, you have not seen this before. When you all perform mass, sometimes it's just for the 2 or 3 of you. Sometimes 6 or 7 people show up. But the way these people are dressed, you can definitely see some of these are Threger Dam folk. Others may even be from a mess.
And then I'll join in the ceremony and just wait until it's over.
She catches your eye when you walk in, then looks to one of the pews at the back and kind of glances in that direction.
I'll look at where she's looking.
It's an open section of seating.
I'll go and sit down.
You all can lash up your Yule cups outside. You all can follow in.
I'm only with Fanny.
I'll lean against the door.
Fanny or Fionn, do you head in as well?
Or are we going to the plot first?
I'll go to the plot first.
Okay. As you all make your way around, there is a single opening to the cemetery behind the church itself. The church, the back of the church has an opening out to it, and there is an wrought iron gate that encircles the cemetery itself. The gate itself is open. You can see at several plots there are a gathering of people. It takes you a little bit to go through, but it's fairly easy to see which graves have been dug very recently. While Brownwater has seen their fair share of death in the last few weeks, a lot of those people couldn't afford a plot in the cemetery. There are 5 funerals that seem to have happened within the last few days, and it's fairly easy for you to find Marcus's. A very simple headstone that reads, "Here lies Marcus, my son," and nothing else.
Offer a prayer to Lowell. And
You all can hear the muffled crying as people are gathered around other graves, paying their respects to the dead, as you pay yours in your own way.
Chair to plant flowering vegetable. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have many seeds, from...
Well, this to you is kind of odd. Your people, you burn your dead. You give them back to the sky. So then buried beneath the earth. You've seen it before, so it's not shocking to you. But it's not your particular way. You are very familiar with this way, and planting a plant in it would be seen as disrespectful.
Yeah, but I figured she likes plants.
But just as you are aware,
I mean, we could plant, like, over there, but not, like, on him.
Well, I was gonna cast Create Water and water the plots.
okay,
Okay.
you can water that. You can. I'll say it doesn't just like drop down. Like we'll say you're able to in this moment, with the grieving heart that you have, you're able to slowly spread what would be your touch to this.
And we'll be sniffing around for the smell of wet earth beyond what I've created here.
The ceremony goes on. You guys realize inside it is a ceremony of remembrance. It is of to remember the dead. It is about compassion and about living life, and that Mother Sabbath can show you the way. That she can teach you what it is to truly lead a fulfilled life, so that death may not seem like such a tragedy. You all are aware in this world, the afterlife is seen with distrust. No one knows what happens after you die, as no one has been really back to say, hey, this is what happens. Resurrection magic is not something that happens. It just doesn't happen. Raising the dead is seen as an evil. And the gods don't speak of what happens afterwards. Even when the new Lord of Light, Riveth, was asked, Rathian was asked, he's made it very clear that each journey is their own. But life is to be celebrated. Death is just the next step. One we all have to take. The ceremony draws itself to a close, and Sister Vrumadi approaches you. You sitting in the pew, you as well?
Yeah.
Callith, you as well?
Mm-hmm.
And you as well?
Leaning on the door frame.
As she walks over to them, she motions for you to come over.
Wander over.
Thank you for coming back. I know you had vengeance on your mind, but I've been needing a bit of help. I've come across something that I can't really speak of at the moment, but if you come in tonight, I'd like to have a conversation with you all. And I need you all to have an open mind when we have this conversation.
Well, my mind's open, but I can't guarantee that my decisions will be influenced.
Well, that's all I ask. Don't do anything rash.
Yeah.
And keep an open mind. But if you have dinner with me this night, I'd very much like to have a discussion.
You have to say
Don't know. It's whatever Lillian decides to make.
Oh, where is that?
Well, it's after 2, and should probably be about getting ready to work on dinner about now.
All right. I get up and go find her.
Downstairs at the end, the tip of the U on the opposite side, you all know that's where the kitchen is. You can make your way there. Valine is indeed hard at work. Apparently, they managed to get some decent meat in of a very rare quality, and she is preparing it to the best way that she knows how.
Okay.
The crap out of it.
I will.
Pretty much. She is not a cook by any stretch of the word.
I will help her with my meager skills as a hunter.
You guys make hardtack biscuits, kind of burn the meat a bit, and just have some vegetables that you throw in a pan for a little bit. They're half cooked, throw them out. Okay, cool.
I'm
They're
gonna
ready
sneak
to
some of that meat away raw.
go. Well, you have your own meat if you wish to take it. This is, in fact, meat that was donated to them. You'll recognize some of the gaminess. It is definitely desert stag. Until this night, you guys have a few hours to pass. Is anybody going to do anything in that period of time of import?
I'm going to go to the Inn of Broken Hearts
The Mill of Broken Hearts.
And pay 1 script for a bath.
Oh,
As you walk into the mill. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you catching it beforehand?
yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to give it to you, but you kind of, I don't know, you wander off doing your hunt, and then I give him his share of the.
How much was it?
I think it was 72 or 77.
Yeah.
72 sounds right.
72 does sound right.
Well, thank you.
I think I deposited mine in the bank. Yes, I did.
I'm gonna go find that plot where I last saw the seafoam-haired lady.
Okay.
Just take a moment.
We'll do that in a second. That's all you do to One Eye, and then you allow One Eye to go.
Yeah, that's all I'll do
Okay.
for
So
one night.
he's heading to the Mill of Broken Hearts.
All right. Why don't we go over to Winger and Scissors and figure out what some of this crap's worth?
Yes, but give me a little bit. I want to
72.
check on my short companion.
Short companion.
Yes, she seems to have wandered off by herself. And I'm just a little curious about her, what it is. If you don't mind, I'll meet you there in about 30 to 45 minutes.
Went over to the plot. They're crying over the dead boy.
Yes, but you know me, I like to keep an eye on her covertly.
You gonna go cry over the dead boy too?
Yes.
Fair enough. I'm not gonna do that
now.
because I didn't really like the kid.
So you
Yes.
wait a while, then you're gonna head over to the Winger and
Go
Scissors
get a
with him?
drink and then I'll meet you there.
I'll go to the. I'll stop by the gunsmith and meet him at Winger and Scissors.
When you arrived, the gunsmith is actually closed today, which is
Well,
odd.
pound on the door.
No response.
Pound on the door.
No response.
God damn it, Copper Bottom, you hungover dwarf!
Someone needs to tell me how to quit yelling. It's very rude.
The door is stoic in its refusal.
It's like a door.
So, as you head over to the Mill of Broken Hearts, there are a lot of people that are outside this place. Now, I haven't really described this building very well yet, but imagine an old-time saloon. Okay, it is 2-storied. There is a porch on the 2nd story as well as a porch on the 1st story. They do serve alcohol. It is its own drinking establishment, not just a place of fornication and pleasure. There are a lot of people on the porch and out front and in the 2nd story that are drinking, singing off key. This is not what the Ember Inn is. The Ember Inn isn't upscale by any sense of the word, but this is definitely a step down. But it's definitely a welcome step up from the Bent Pig Pub. It takes you a minute to push your way inside. When you do, you see that the maitre d' that is usually just sitting behind, on her couch with her desk in front of her is up and about. She is chatting with quite a few customers that seem to be bustling around this place.
Is our agreed upon price for a private bath still the same?
Oh, hi, Master Dwarf. Good to see you again. It may be easier if I could interest you in a woman, but you understand that I have to give rooms to those that are going to be using them for more lucrative purposes than simple bathing. You understand?
All right. Well, if business is like this, I'll just walk by next time and just handle it myself. Have a nice day.
Okay. Well, if you come back when you're needing a bit of the flour.
Well, I just want privacy in a bathroom.
Well, wait till we slow down and maybe come back tonight when the fellows are a bit drunk. Maybe I'll have a room for you then.
Right. Have a nice day, madam.
You too, Master Dwarf. You go to the last place that you saw the woman with seafoam green hair. It's still that same place, though the ground is no longer, seems to be wet. The butterflies are no longer around. Though, as you get to that place, you still feel that almost like the earth has give where she was standing.
Water it.
Okay.
Well,
There is a sizable chunk that has no vegetation, and then the vegetation grows beyond that in a roughly circular pattern. Roughly.
I'll take a minute to contemplate the edge, the edge where they meet, and try to commune with nature in the center of it.
Fanny, why do you watering things? Do you mind watering cheer plants? My plants.
Just water.
Yes, but my plants need water. If Fanny don't mind, we check them cheer plants.
Later.
Go ahead and at this point, you know the day after the full moon is when Leowell is at her weakest. So go ahead and roll me a religion check with disadvantage, please.
No, religion. Why? Actually, that's not so bad. That's 10.
10?
17 and 11. That's, I'll take it.
There is something off about this place. You can't quite put your finger on it. The wonder that she had, that look on her face, that of just pure joy as she danced with these butterflies. You don't get that feeling standing here.
She brought it with her.
Fanny, why is place special? Other than odd pattern for vegetation.
The one who planted it.
Who planted it?
Lady with seafoam hair.
Like your deity. For representation. Interesting.
Dickon, are you doing anything during this time? Or?
I'm gonna check outside the Ember Shard establishment, see, kind of scan the crowd, see if any of them look sick, like with disease or anything.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Oh, that's crap. That is an 11.
11. From the murmurs that you get as you walk up, a lot of people here that are being kind of pushed away that seem to have minor illnesses, as the Amber Shard Inn is at this point nearly full with people suffering from gunshot wounds, knife wounds, being trampled. There was a poor child who was hit in the head during a bar fight with a bottle and has not woken up since. There is quite a bit happening here in Brownwater, and this place is much busier than what you are accustomed to seeing in the now a little over a month that you have been around Brownwater.
I'm going to kind of look at the most sick people and then cast Bless Restoration on 3 people. I can do that.
Okay. Well, as you approach one of them. Okay. The 3 people that you help are, oh, thank you. Oh my God, I feel so much better. They see the symbol on your chest and then look over at the church. One of them is an older gentleman, seems to be a miner. Just looks at you and kind of reaches down and grabs his crotch, moves around a bit. Praise be to Sabbath. And then walks over to the church.
Oh, I like that.
The other 2 are women that appear to be a little more worse for wear. One is a much older woman that you lay your hands upon. Her daughter immediately embraces you upon that, as her mother, obviously still old and infirm, the racking cough disappears. The other younger woman that you help, who seems like she's in a pretty bad way when it comes to sickness, very frail woman, you happen to cure her ails as well, and she gives you kind of a weak smile, thanks you, and slowly makes her way to the church as well.
And then, yeah.
That will take a couple hours in order. It takes you time to convince people. You don't just walk around, that's a little weird.
That sounds pretty spectacular to me, and honestly, something that I would do.
Just walking and start slapping people, and great restoration.
It's funny that you say that.
Well, that's a restoration.
And Callus, you can see that cheer from the plot after they say their respects. She wanders off with Fionn. They had kind of weirdly along the main avenue to the main entrance into Brownwater from Shield Maiden's Way, or from Shield Maiden's March. They kind of head off beyond the houses to a small hillock on the edge of Brownwater, and they just kind of mill around there for a while.
And the whole time.
More like
holding
cheers milling
Fanny's
around.
hands.
Fionn kind
Yeah,
of.
well, yeah, Fiona's kind of just like there, she seems to be concentrating on something, and you can tell when Cheer's asking too many questions because she's very animated in the way she talks.
Yeah, I will keep an eye on them for about 40 minutes
Okay.
until I head off to William Center's.
It's about that time. You tried to grab a drink, correct?
Just kind of enjoy the
Just walking around.
chaos.
It is chaotic. The purveyor of alcohol that you have now been to a couple of times and bought product from is nowhere to be seen. There is another person in their place. He sells chamber pots. No, your friend is nowhere to be seen, though. The other gentleman who sells other alcohols that are sampled ad nauseum by him is still there, though he still has appears to be much of his stock, as he's decided he's started to label things, but as seeing as how he can't read, it's still kind of a wash. He's still having to taste them to see what they are.
Selling things, but he can't label.
That one. Don't taste it. Just give me the bottle.
They're all like half empty to a quarter
just
empty.
Point to the fullest one I can see.
Okay. That is gin. Pulls it out, hands it to you. Half a note.
Deal. Have a note for that one too.
He points out another one. One note for that one.
Which one's half a note? I just don't want to break a note.
He gets one that's got like that much left in it. There you go.
No, I want a full one. Or a fuller one. Now that's gonna go away when you taste it.
Well, if for half a note, I won't taste it. Well, I can't really tell you what it is, but hey, surprises are good, right?
Yeah, what the hell?
He hands it to you.
Give me the one that's a note too.
Hands it to you. So that's 2 notes that you pass him over, and he stuffs them into his shirt like, that's a good day of sales. And he does seem like he's about 3/4 of the way drunk at all times.
Wander down.
You can then wander down to Wingren Scissors, and as you get there, you approach the door. You can see just down the thoroughfare that Caliph is making his way to you.
Fair enough. We'll meet him there.
You all open the door. The bell above it chimes. Standing behind the counter, you see a red-skinned tiefling that you recognize with his black hair pulled back. It seems as if he almost shines his very pronounced canines that are in his mouth. Like he takes very delicate care to make sure that they are as pearlescent as they can be. He wears a very typical shopkeeper's garb. He's got a vest over a white shirt as he's welcome to Wingren's. Oh, how you doing? How you doing, Purple?
I'm doing pretty well. We brought some things to sell to you.
Oh, okay. Well, what you got?
Please.
We have these wonderful native tribe necklaces. Yeah.
Oh, and he just kind of pushes them back. We don't buy that kind of stuff. What else you got?
Well,
I'd take those over to Silver River. I mean, he's a pack rat. He collects all sorts of crap.
Yeah. Silver River, sell the crap.
Well,
This is the one you said tells what magical things are, right?
Oh, I have that ability, but it ain't free.
Of course not.
How much is ain't free?
Well, if you want me to cast it, then, and you don't want to sell to me at a discount for that, then it is 50 notes per casting.
Bring out. Please show him the sword.
Bring out
The pig sticker? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what he calls it. Pig sticker. Touch it. Ooh. Give me a minute. And he takes 10 minutes, or 11 minutes, excuse me, as he casts it as a ritual. Mm-hmm. Then lifts it up. His eyes kind of fly open as he, Well, this here, I hesitate to call it a blade, but a word can be spoken, and its blade will erupt in fire.
We saw that.
Well, it can be used to set other things on fire as well. You can pass that down to Caliph, please.
Ah, flaming pig sticker.
Flaming pig sticker.
Quick question.
It's awful nice.
Brownwater. It's perpetually wet.
He said to me,
But Brownwater is perpetually kind of damp.
Yeah, like the roads especially.
Except that there's no plants really growing in any great amount.
No. Actually, the greatest amount of plants that you've seen within Brownwater proper
Seafoam ladies.
would be the dandelion patch that she grew. The only thing that's really on Three Tree Hill, that place has vegetation on it, but it's pretty much the only place.
It has 3 trees on it.
3 sizable trees too.
On the hill.
Something you can use?
it is. But I don't know if I'd use it. I mean, you know me, that I don't normally fight. However, it does kind of fit my infernal personality.
So if I let you keep that, you're gonna stand up instead of cowering like a little girl like last time?
I can't necessarily make that promise, but you do remember the last one standing I put to death with my words.
No, I don't. I stabbed him.
Oh, yeah. But I distracted them so you could stab him.
Congratulations. You were as useful as a shiny rock.
You know what? I've seen Fionn do some rather interesting things with shiny rocks.
I was waiting for that.
Well, let me ask you,
Well,
what would it be worth to you? I mean, I can pay you the 50.
Well, this one I'm gonna have to go into. I assume you'd already paid him.
Yeah. I don't have the 50 on me, but I will write out a check. The script.
Okay. Yeah, since you do have you do have official script that you can write on, and he. Oh, okay. And you make your mark, which is the typical menace mark.
Yeah.
So you actually now probably carry around a small round that can open a small round like container that can open up. On one side it has the pin on it, so that way you can depress on your finger, and then it has the pad on the other side, so you can actually soak up the blood, and so that way you're not openly bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
So you open that up. He will accept that. I'm moving up in the world. All right.
I'm trying to.
I mean, to buy this thing, I gotta talk to Wingrid on this one. There's no way I'm making a judgment call on this one. He'll have my ass if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay, talk to Winger.
All right.
One more question. So, can you take my jacket, put some metal in it, stiffen it up? I'll sell you this chain shirt lining I've got.
That again, you'd have to talk to Wingrid. I mean, I don't do the work. Wingrid does the work.
Get Wingrid.
Oh, that's what I was trying to do before you stopped me.
Go on then.
All right. God damn. Is the air thin up there? Is that what's going on?
Useless as the other hat rack.
And he turns around and he walks in the back. You hear what? God damn! Hold on! And you hear some tools hit the table and stuff, and you see an old bald man that you all, I don't believe, have met before, come in. He's wiping his hands on his apron. What? What the hell's so goddamn important?
Well, he wants to know how much you give him for that pig sticker.
Sparkfire walks around and it's magical with a enchantment that it reads itself in flame. What? Reads itself in flame. Oh. Huh. I don't like the look of it though. Tells you what. I can give you store credit in an amount of 125 notes. Or I can buy it from you for 75.
I'd say you keep it. Be useful.
You know what? I agree.
I mean, if it looked prettier, I'd pay a lot more for it.
Well, then...
Hey, you guys, you're friends with that dwarf, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weird hat, one eye.
Yeah.
That's him.
What has he decided to do with that that other blade that
He's
he
keeping
found?
it.
Oh, God damn it. Okay. Well, what else can he said? Something
I got
about your
chain
jacket.
shirt lining in this jacket I want pulled out, and you stiffen it up a little bit with metal, make it more flexible. Buy that chain shirt lining off me.
So are you? So what's you trying to do with it? You trying to make it heavier? You trying to make it
lighter? You know, just a bit of studding here and there.
Remove the chain lining of it?
Yeah, you keep the chain. Give me a fair price for it.
Wow. Looks like it needs some patchwork too. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but sir, I think you've been stabbed a time or two.
No shit.
Well, you look kind of dense. I didn't know if you were aware.
How about you? You got a new jacket?
I do. Nothing in quite your size, but if you give me about a day, I can get something. Are you looking for something nice, like what one I bought for his his friend?
Wait, One Eye's buying things for other people?
Yeah,
Nice
snowflake. You know, before he got shot in the face.
Oh, that's why he showed up with that nice jacket.
I got one just like it. I mean, I can let it out for you. It'd be nice. Wouldn't I mean, that chain in there is going to offer you a bit more protection, but I mean, that would be lighter.
Yeah, lighter's good. Some stunning.
Give me a couple of days and I can get it for you. You want to give me what's left of your jacket? I mean, there's plenty of leather I could use on that. With that trade in, call it 45 notes for a new jacket. Actually, give me one sec. Sorry, everybody. I know this is super exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I just love
Everyone's
that.
favorite part of D&D.
I'm saying, I think it's hilarious that One Eye and Darius have a thing.
Please, snowflake.
Yeah, about 45 gold, about 45 notes with the trade-in. Get you a nice jacket, nice looking. Stand up to a cut and a bit better than the one you're wearing.
Hat Rack discusses financials.
I'm sorry. How much did you say?
45 notes.
Sure you couldn't do 35?
55 notes.
Wow.
45 notes.
40.
How about 45 notes?
It's good change.
I'll tell you what. I'll sell it to you for 45 notes. You come back, you do more business with me.
How about 40 notes and I have some other armaments that might be of sale to you? Common as they may be, but
42.
deal. He will pay you.
Break out the 42 notes?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to need that now.
I might get stabbed between now and then. I kind of want to avoid that.
Give me 3 days then.
Okay.
Because I was going to use some of that leather to help let out that thing, but, I mean,
You want to just rip the leather off? I'll keep the chain shirt.
it ain't going to stay together then.
That's not useful.
But yeah, give me 3 days. I'll have it ready for you.
Extra day, no stabbing. Fair enough.
He'll be
Yeah.
fine.
All right, gentlemen.
Maybe I'll be fun.
What's your name, sir, so I can write this down on my commission chart?
Gunner.
Gunner. All right, Gunner it is. Gunner, big lanky fucker. All right, cool. That's good. That's as apt description as any. All right, then 3 days time, I'll have it ready for you. 42 notes.
Bam.
Okay.
And then I offer, I guess he's going to go back and I offer Sparkfire some other assorted weapons that we've picked up.
Which ones?
Well, I believe we do have a couple of well-made bows, the 4 of them.
No, those are destroyed.
No, those got burned.
Yeah.
Those got broken.
And they wouldn't have been sellable anyway.
Then let me scratch those out. I
got
do
those bags.
show that there was a scimitar from the goblins and a short bow. And
There was a scimitar. He wants nothing to do with it. It is not something that he can turn around and sell. But again, there's that pack rat over at Silver River. He can buy just about anything. I mean, he'll shove it under his nose.
Yes, I might go sell to him. But I wanted to offer these to you first to see if you wanted any of them.
Oh, ain't you just a peach?
I know. You are the best.
Right,
Indeed. Spread that rumor around.
Oh, I certainly will.
So, anything else I can do? Any more magics I can demystify?
No, I believe this was it, and I kind of.
Do they have the beads or no?
No.
Oh, you already know what they are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
They
wearing the
didn't
boots,
have
so.
the beads. They gave them up after that.
okay.
And then, well, thank you. We will be back. Another day, we'll, obviously he'll get his coat, but another day we'll bring you more wares to sell.
Then I will definitely look forward to seeing you then. All right, come back with anything else you need. I'm going to get back to it. You have yourselves a nice day.
You as well.
He continues doing what he's doing, which is basically kind of pretending to work. There's some people around, they ask questions, he'll answer them, but most of it, it's like he's taking like folded shirts and stuff and just kind of like, yep, that's still folded, and putting it back in place.
You know, you're no longer the most annoying one of your kind I know.
I'm kind of offended by that. Sparky is not that bad.
See, it's a compliment.
Okay. I will take that as such. But let's head over to the weird guy so that we can sell the rest of this junk.
Drink that.
For sake of brevity, at the Silver Inn, at the Silver River, he offers you guys 10 notes for the 2 necklaces, and for the scimitar, he offers you 10 for that as well. So 20 notes for all of it.
And the goblin armor?
He cannot take the goblin armor. Is it size for a goblin? Not really any use for it. But I mean, a scimitar, anybody can pick it up and swing.
Yeah, 20 notes.
20 notes?
20 notes, okay.
25 maybe for the lot?
Roll a perception check or a persuasion with disadvantage.
Yeah,
Disadvantage.
25.
Roll 2 20s.
Oh, that was a natural 20 and a 2, which comes out to 10.
Yeah, I'd be sorry, I can't do it. They're probably just going to sit on my shelves anyway. I got so much stuff. 20 notes.
Okay, 20 it is.
All right. Turns around, and after he pays you the 20 notes, he puts on a shelf, writes on a card, sets the card up front, and it says 100 notes.
It is what it is.
And you can see he has those cards everywhere, all over this place.
And all of them say 100 notes.
Anything,
Toothpicks are 100 notes?
Goddamn thing.
anything look interesting while I'm in there?
How much time do you want to spend in here?
Go on, Cal, let's go get drunk before we talk to Sister, what's her name?
What time of day is it?
You guys got probably about an hour before dinner. They have dinner at 5 o'clock.
Okay, I'll come back another day.
If I've got the time, I'll drop by the 3 Tree Hill.
You do. Do you follow Fionn to 3 Tree Hill?
Well, are we gonna go check on Cheers plants as well?
Yeah, dude.
You guys can do
Check on
that.
my plants.
You guys can basically check out our plants.
Plants.
Same thing. Well, it's just one of them is a little sprout. It's a little bigger than what it was before. The other one has not sprouted.
Can I tell that it's a natural or a natural plant?
Roll a nature check.
That is, that's a 13. Well, pretty well.
It looks like carrots.
Clearly, she's growing them from someone's eyes.
Yes. You plant somebody's eyes and carrots grow.
This one was the tooth one.
The brain one is. It's obviously not currently sprouted yet, but if you want to risk damaging it, you could dig into the earth to see what exactly is going on. But,
I don't think you care at all.
I know, right?
No.
oh God, I'm gonna do so much damage to you in the next combat.
I gotta be doubling all of it. It's gonna be like crits left and right.
It's okay to get critical.
You need to go take care of some business at the, how do you say, general store?
Water.
Thank you. Family want to go with cheer or family go to...
Fionn's going to the hell.
Okay.
Okay, bye, Bunny. And go to the general store.
It's peaceful on the hill, but yeah, I mean, as peaceful as it can be, as you still hear the crowds of people around.
I'll go to one of the trees.
They are old, and they
Green.
are green, thick, healthy.
How deep would I say their roots go?
Some probably 10 to 15 feet easy. I mean, these are sizable trees. And they grow in a very, very odd, almost...
Perfectly triangular pattern?
Yes, perfectly triangular, and they all grow kind of out from the hill, and then grow up. It is odd. It almost looks like a crown. You head to the general store. What are you attempting to do there?
You know, like, bust in there. Be like...
At Silver River, or...
No.
The other,
actual
the
general
Andrews,
store.
okay.
No, hello, sir. Cheers back.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Andros, but...
The dude by the...
Brighton's. Brighton's Goods.
Is that the one who sold the dress?
Oh! Hey, little one, welcome back.
Is there anyone in there at the moment?
Nope, but there are people outside milling about, you know,
Get
in the
closer
shade.
to the... Cheer, come to buy things. Cheer, what other potion?
Oh, which one? The drinky drink or the throwy throw?
Throw.
Oh, the throwy throw. I got 2 more of those. How,
Two?
did you try it? How'd it work?
Oh, very nice.
I believe I charged you 50 apiece for those. But I'll tell you what. If you get both right now, I'll sell them both to you for 90.
Deal.
Okay. And he takes the 2 out and very kind of gingerly places them on there and takes your notes. Is that all you purchase?
And bullets.
Okay. At this point in time, you guys are still kind of stocked up. The next time you guys come into town, we'll have it then.
Do they have anything else of interest?
What do you want?
Any other chemicals?
That was it.
That's it.
Nothing else has come in since the last time we came in. I'm accepting a shipment here in the next couple of days, though. Gonna be a lot of stuff.
Like what?
Oh, I got all sorts of things. I got chlorine. I got a few other things coming in. I'm not 100% sure what's coming in because, you know, stuff happens along the way, and this is coming all the way from Threager Dam, you know. Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for this stuff for the better part of a month, and now that it's here, whew, time to make me some business.
Could you, when it comes in, could you send message to church for cheer?
Nope, but you can come on in the next couple of days, and it should be here.
Couple days? Okay. Cheer, come back.
Good to see you again.
Of course, Cheer wasn't here. Cheer didn't buy from you. Same stuff.
Oh, okay. Be safe, little one.
Of course. He's in the jacket.
About an hour will pass, and you all can collect up for dinner, for sake of brevity. As you all can head down into the church's lower quarters, the church at this point is pretty much cleared out. Valine is picking up the few bits and scraps that other parishioners have left in their wake, resetting up books that people can read of the teachings of Sabbath. You guys will notice that unlike our Holy Bible, which is a very voluminous tome, the teaching of Sabbath are very, very small. There's not a whole lot to it. A lot of it's don't be an asshole.
You say small. We say succinct.
Succinct, yes. It is very much still in the veins of stories on morality and things like that, but very much more to the heart of things. As you all collect up for dinner, Sister Vrumadi, she serves each of you your meal, which is basically just kind of burnt meat, some carrots that look like they've been cooked a little, and some hardtack biscuits, which you were very used to. You basically have to soak them in water, same as you, in order to enjoy them.
Oh, this tastes wonderful, Valine.
Goody.
Wonderful job.
Army food.
Roll a bluff check.
Sister Vrumadi, after a few minutes, she eats, staring at her plate for a few minutes. Then after you all have, kind of settled in, you guys had some drinks and stuff, and you guys have eaten most of your food. Those of you who want to eat will look up at you and let's go ahead and get something else here for you.
I'm just saying that one guy is really rude.
You're right.
Really yelling
I have a
every
question.
guy.
Did anyone tell
seconds?
Cheer or Fanny what was going on?
Nope.
Just something about the church in Vrumadi.
Are you there? Did you?
We're gonna make my way there eventually. I just don't know when.
I'm going to break the awkward silence here and say, well, Valine, I've got another jackal hide for you to sell.
Well, Valine is upstairs and she's doing around she ate earlier and then came down here and tried to do the rest of this. So that way, Sister Vrumadi could have her Vrumadi. I keep saying it wrong.
I know it's like
Bambuti.
you keep confusing me. I'm like,
it's you that does it. It's you that throws it off in my head.
It's
It's Vrumadi.
Yeah.
Vrumadi.
I know.
Vrumadi.
No, it's bambooty.
Forgive me,
Bambuti.
for I am only human. Like 5%.
And she's the one who says the most often.
You're right. Okay. But
After him and I finish with it, I will go find Chair.
I'm gonna get
oh well, you guys all collect up.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll say Let's see, for sake of brevity, like I said, you guys are kind of collected up to this meal because she does want to speak to you all.
But I let her know that.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest, every time I hear the song, I think of Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
good. Wait, no, that's bad. Don't ever associate my campaign with that. She kind of looks over at you guys.
Are you sure?
Okay, now
Sorry.
you have to understand what I'm about to tell you. I try to embody the teachings of my mother in all
Is that
things.
her
No, she has the Irish accent. Excuse me.
Delene's an Irish one.
Valine is very, very Irish. Yeah, she just has like a hint. It's
Thought it was Scott. Bamboo.
Vrumadi.
I try to adhere to all of my mother's teachings. Sabbath is wise and she is compassionate, and I try to be as well. And I want you all to think about that when I tell you what I need to tell you. There is something happening within Brownwater that is distressing to me. And I am glad that I have you now, and you all here that seem to be willing to help in such things.
I don't think you like my type of help.
I don't think you can afford my type of help.
Let's just let her speak.
Let her speak, please.
Sometimes even Mother Sabbath knows that a rougher approach is necessary. Now, the night that you all were shot at, before that happened, I had a couple of people approach me and ask me for help. That their loved ones had gone strange. Their personality seemed to completely shift, and after either a bout of madness or violence, both fell into a stupor from which they have not woken.
You know what? I believe I've heard of them before.
I've had them both here now for a couple of days, and their malady vexes me, as none of my magics have been able to do anything for it. I am more aware of how to help your friend, Darius, I believe.
Yeah.
He simply needs time for his mind to mend before he will wake. But these people, I don't think they will ever come out of this. Whatever malady is affecting them.
It's like their minds have been taken away permanently?
It's like they are empty vessels. There is not in at all. Like they are an empty cup waiting to be filled. With what? I do not know. But
Yes.
they both are still here. And I don't know if this is... I don't know if it's linked. But I have a couple of friends of mine that have been in Brownwater for generations. They're good folk. Husband and wife. They've let me know that the body of Holland Rollick, for some reason, has grown a strange fungus upon it. One that a dead body should not usually grow. And I do not know as to why.
So, on top of his grave is a layer of moss?
No, he resides in a mausoleum of great import within my cemetery, and it is his body itself that sprouts this strange growth.
Could Chief see his fungus?
I would not like if anyone were to find out that anyone, including my other friends, had looked at the body. But they are willing to help in what ways they can. as long as you all are able to be as I am to them. An understanding acquaintance.
How many people know about this?
Just me.
And the two others?
And they are tight-lipped by their very nature. Their survival depends upon it.
Where was body kept?
The mausoleum.
In the mausoleum,
Where's mausoleum?
in my cemetery, not 100 yards from where we sit now.
Is
Is there any
possible.
other graves?
hold up.
Before you go, you will find it impossible to enter. And again, I would not have any of you seen milling about his mausoleum and questions be asked.
Is possible that you, Sister Vrumadi, could get your sample of fungus that way you
That
can
is
see?
what I am trying to tell you, that my friends are willing to help in what ways they can, but I have been in charge of their safety for a great many years. And I would be lament to see them come to harm. While I know Dakin can believe Sabbath's teachings and take it to heart, I have my doubts of the rest of you.
Well, it's a nice message, but I've got to go let me home.
That's fine. You can have another patron that you call your own, but even you, with a different patron, can see the value in the teachings of Sabbath, as your God, whoever he may be, is the son or daughter of Sabbath.
You gonna keep talking in circles, or tell us what you're asking?
My mind's
Well-
open, but I can't latch on what you're asking us to do.
I am looking for a reason to trust you. Very, very hard, as I believe that you have Brownwater's best interest at heart, and you're working to those ends. But I am not one. The ends do not justify the means, if you understand me.
No.
I don't like to see the little people be stepped on, so that way the big picture can be made to rights, if you understand. So, I will ask you simply to have an open mind. I can't not give you the information, because I need you to search this out and discover it. But my help will be much harder to come by if you do not hold yourselves to a certain standard. Practice South's way. Remember that just because something seems vile doesn't mean it is.
Well, is there any other graves that are suffering from this fungus?
I know from good account that none of the graves, none of the bodies within my cemetery are suffering from this malady. It is Hollenrolic alone.
I guess you should be bringing out whatever you don't want suffering in our hands so we can hear what it has to say.
Well, that's the thing. They do not enter these grounds, but they live in Brownwater and they keep to themselves. I can tell you where they are and hope that you will do the right thing.
Was this the gentleman that used to buy all of that shite root?
Yes. Though I believe, especially since you're in, a house of Sabbath, that maybe you shouldn't call it such. But yes,
Yeah.
he, let me look through here because I believe I have that in my notes.
Yeah, he bought the shite root.
Yes.
Why must everyone?
I'll speak up while he's busy searching for information. I'm here by Lywell's wishes.
Well, that is good.
Something is wrong with this water.
That's what worries me. I do not have your touch with nature. I'm more of a divine mind myself. But it would not surprise me if there was something about the water.
All the plants. Brownwater's always wet.
Agreed.
I've only seen 3 places with plants, 2 of which have been touched by.
Agreed. This is
So
only upon
long.
the hills that surround Brownwater where vegetation grows and lush.
And the silver. What was it called?
Silver River.
Silver River.
I've seen the Dead Land
And
patch.
the hill.
Well,
north
Three
of
Tree
the
Hill has
town.
been here longer than even Brownwater itself. Some 300 years ago. Brownwater has a sordid history. Being a bit of a historian, I've learned a few things, but that's for another time. That's a long conversation, and I believe as it is nightfall, about nightfall now, it's a good time for you to meet my friends and have a word with them.
Where are they at?
Do you think that many of the families would be opposed to anything we find?
I believe the families would be opposed to anything that would jeopardize their power within Brownwater.
So if we find something and the families are against it, are you
Then-
going to disavow any knowledge of our efforts?
The families hold no sway over me, son.
Right.
Only Sabbath. And Sabbath, she doesn't turn her back on her own.
Who's the
There's a small building.
I believe.
Shona root.
Shogun.
Shona. Shona.
Shona root. That's what it was. He bought.
There's a small building on the eastern, southeast road heading out of town, heading towards the Fergus estate. Small building, flat roof, been painted white, stays painted white, very easy to see. Knock on the door. Ask for Rictus.
Ictus.
Tell him I sent you, and let your conscience be your guide.
Of course.
What's that?
It's that voice in head that tell you right and wrong.
You know that one that you usually ignore.
If you
No,
don't,
I'm sorry.
if you don't mind, I have to attend to my patients.
Yes. Might I accompany you to see some of these, as you described them, vacant people?
That may be fine, but I definitely would like you to speak to them.
We've seen already.
Yes. I believe that they tend to call them the Daydreamers.
It's odd name,
I know. I agree.
but
Vacant sounds so much better, or more discreet.
to each their own. But come with me. And she takes you into that room. She takes out a different key, not one of the same keys that you all have. Unlocks the door, opens it, walks inside, and you see there is a young woman, beautiful young woman. Hair is recently brushed. She's wearing a white gown. She sits in a chair and she stares at what would be where the window would be. It's kind of like a fake, just hanging curtains to give the illusion that you can actually see outside when you're underground. She just simply stares at that. Every 5 to 10 seconds, she blinks slowly and keeps looking at it.
Aren't any chickens left in that?
I look at her, point my finger, and whisper very slowly, using message, "Are you in there? Please reply."
Get no response.
Anything aside from that I notice about her?
Roll a perception check.
Is there a large empty barrel down here?
That's cocked.
Most likely, yeah.
That's better.
How big would you say it is, volume-wise?
You could probably find like a 5-gallon, maybe 6-gallon barrel.
Great water
Put it inside the
in the barrel.
13.
Okay. Nothing that you can really tell. I mean, she's freshly bathed. There appears to be no wounds upon her. As you're looking over her, Vrumadi standing behind you. She scratched out her mother's eyes.
I take it she did that before she became so absent-minded.
She's a student. She's a caring girl, very kind. One morning, Mother woke her up. She said she was agitated for hours and then suddenly attacked her like a wild animal. Just as quickly as they were able to pull her off, she suddenly just went slack.
Are you aware of others that have been afflicted like this?
I've heard rumors, but, rumors are rumors. Until I see it with my own eyes.
I have seen one or two like this, but never quite so up close.
The people that I'm helping now, they live in Squatter's Plot. Where Ambershard won't go, where no one else will help. According to them, dozens of people have gone missing. And it's usually those that have fallen into this trance.
To my understanding, they've been taken over to Vicar Ridge.
Well then, that'd be a right good place to look.
Maybe we should go talk to this Rictus fella.
Did you come with me?
I'm following you.
Oh, okay.
I'm following Vrumadi until somebody gives me something better to do.
We might not find him in Vicar Ridge if they gave him to the cannibals.
They may have been sold off as slaves.
So
Still pretty useless as slaves.
Why?
They literally do nothing. This is catatonic to where if you were raised her arm, she just leaves it there until the muscles give out.
It tends for some strange reason that someone, it seems to me at least, that someone wants them to inflict violence on certain people and then doesn't care anymore.
I don't know who would want to inflict violence upon her mother. She's an old woman.
Who
She never
collects
hurt
them?
anybody.
From my understanding, it has something to do with Alara
Hall.
You think I'd be better with these names? I blame Chera.
Oh, gee, the person we were chasing until this wonderful side trip.
Yes.
You didn't even say anything, Cal. Not your fault, Cal, stupid.
Yeah, it isn't Derweasel's fault. You're
Wait,
dumb.
Sister Vrumadi, do you understand the
Exactly.
language of the dwarves?
A bit, yeah.
Cheer. She converses perfectly in that language.
That's fine. She has her own charms in common.
Just try to help. Communication.
She already talked to Vamputi a lot.
If you all wish to speak to Rictus, now would be a good time to do so.
We should go.
Let's go ahead and go.
Your friend, I'm not sure when he will be awake, but I have hopes that he will be awake soon.
If you learn anything more about these vacant people, please let me know. I have been in conversation with the sheriff, but I don't know, this situation tends to make has struck me quite personally for some odd reason. I'm not sure why.
I don't know nothing about that, but it is his town. It seems to be going to hell.
Maybe it has something to do with, as she said, the water is odd.
Well, I thank you for creating some, but I've been doing that as well. Not for any other reason than it's just hard for me to get to the watering holes. But I appreciate it. You all can collect up. She goes and sees about her patients.
Right,
Tilsa is still there, but she doesn't speak to any of you. If you all pop your head in and look at her, she's just kind of facing the wall. Doesn't say anything.
I drank a little too much, so I'll be going to an outhouse.
I go by.
So who
Tilsa
all is
just-
going to speak to Rictus?
I will go, but first I'll stop by Tilsa, and even if she doesn't speak to me, I just kind of, as they say around here, bless you.
I'll pop through. Is Tilsa the bitchy one or the nice one?
Yes. She's the one that seems to hate everybody.
Not the one that jokes.
He's the one you took a liking to almost
So-
immediately.
No, that's the other one.
Nah, that's the other one. She liked him until he started asking her questions. and then she hated him.
What? Who?
Tilsa. She liked you until you asked her questions, and then she. Oh, never mind. You're gonna interact with me. Fuck you. You all can make your way towards this small little house near the outskirts of town. I would like each of you to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That's crap.
What is it though?
As a Nate.
Is it?
11.
I thought that was a 15 or 16.
15. Was percentage
19.
Holy poo.
18.
20.
20.
So basically, this side of the table, as you guys get close to the house, you catch the faintest whiff of what smells like stirred earth.
Smells like dirt farm around here.
Chair, have you been digging again?
No?
Oh, is that your farming thing?
Is this a farm?
Take another good whiff.
Then.
Once they call it out, you can. Yeah, you get the. You're for some reason you're only getting the faintest sense of it.
Go up to the door.
Why don't some of you go check around?
No, well, they're all here.
This building is made of tumbled stone. It's literally just stones that have been piled on top of each other and mortared together to give it a shape. It's sturdy, but not the sturdiest building. It's not like the sheriff's office. It's not like its construction, where that entire lower section is bricked, mortared into the earth.
But sure knocks
As
on the door.
you knock on the door, you hear shuffling from the inside. You hear a voice from the other side of the door. Who's there?
We're looking for Rictus. Sister Vrumadi sent us.
Door opens just a crack.
Hello.
You can see inside. It appears to be pitch black. The light that you have to see by is nothing more than now the moon that is slowly beginning to go from full, and waning away. With that bit of light, that bit of moonlight catches in this person's eye, and you can see a strange, almost amber orange flashing in this eye. See, how many are you?
Which eye is it?
6.
The right eye is its.
Eye.
So
Exactly.
all 6 of us went, right?
Yeah.
6.
Or is it 6?
Well, it's
Cheer.
closer to 5.5, but
6.
Was it beautiful?
You mean no trouble?
No.
No, Sister
not
Vrumadi
unless you
sent us.
do.
Sister sent us.
Yeah, bambooty.
Come,
Sniff at the door.
The door opens, and
Cheer
you
walks
can
in
see
first.
something motions you
Wait a
to
second.
come inside.
Cheer just like walks.
Duck inside.
And you have to. This is a squat structure. It appears to be a single room, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You all can smell that stirred earth scent is overpowering in here. It's the only thing you can smell.
The smell of
And there's a hint of rot in it as well. As you look around inside this tumblestone building, you can see there appears to be 2 slats on the floor that have hay upon them that seem to be places to sleep. Piled along the walls, you can see mounds of earth that have been pushed up against the wall. You can see there are several different pieces of broken wood that lie strewn about these piles. You can see at the center of the floor, about a 6 foot by 6 foot section, you can see there is what appears to be a cloth, very thick cloth, over it that is anchored down. And when this thing backs up into the room, you see it kind of circle this thing. And as you all begin to walk in, it points down to the ground and watch your step. Watch your step.
Is it still dark in there?
It is pitch black in here.
You wonder if that is grabbing your leg.
So,
Okay, so light. You see. You see this probably 6 foot tall creature stooped. Its skin is pulled tight over bones. what was once healthy skin is long since turned gray and putrid. You can see wisps of hair growing out of its head that are white, that seem to be as dead as the clouded look in its eyes that you see now within the light that is cast. You can see its almost dog-like teeth that sit in its mouth as it backs up a few steps. You hear a screech as another one of these creatures begins to try to push itself into the corner. But after a minute, she rights herself, stands up as tall as she can, though her body seems odd with how skinny she is and almost canine the stoop to her back is. She stands up straight, locks her hands together with a very badly made wig she has upon her head. She smiles with her odd teeth and goes, hello all, my name is Maribel and welcome to my home.
I will attempt to use thaumaturgy to dim the light a little.
It's not a fire.
It's not a fire,
It's
so
not fire.
it's not a fire.
It's not fire.
You see Rictus after a moment, and you can see that he is wearing what appears to be a suit, shirt, and he has he does have a vest on, though the vest is old and dirty, seems to be tattered a bit. He is wearing pants, but they seem to have torn off right around the knees. Neither of them are wearing shoes. Both of their hands seem to be too big for their bodies. Their fingers, probably about twice as long as fingers should be. And as she stands there with a smile on her face, with her hands entwined into there, you get the sense, very off-putting sense, that these are not natural creatures standing before you.
And I attempt to figure out
Hey, can I figure out what they are?
Anybody who wishes can roll me a religion check.
Oh, I have
Natural
advantage
20.
on it.
Yeah,
Because
I
of
rolled
my
12.
Natural 20. That is a 13 for me.
13 for my negative.
16 with my advantage.
So, 16, natural
20.
20,
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
12 for me.
22 total.
So the three of you know that these are ghouls.
Oh, that's what she meant. I was like, oh, that's what she meant by an open mind.
Hello.
We welcome to my home. You are welcome to what amenities I have. I'm sorry we prefer a sparse existence. Sister Vrumadi informed us that she may send people our way and that we should not be afraid, but you understand that a bunch of armed strangers in my house does set my heart to a flutter.
Oh, well, yes, of course. But we are here as friends.
She smiles at you. You can see the rotted teeth in her mouth. You get a very, very strong sense of dead flesh wafting into your nostrils as she speaks. Well, thank you, good sir.
I use prestidigitation to do
No.
something about that.
Do you do that?
Yes.
She
Slightly, though.
seems to not notice you do this, though. It's now basically, it smells like rotted flesh and flowers, but doesn't make it
So
smell
it smells
much
like
better.
a freshly dug grave
Yeah,
and
yeah.
freshly planted flowers.
Yes.
There you
I try.
I would assume you all are here, I hope, on account of what we found out about Holland Rock.
Yes, you have sample.
Well,
It's an
yeah,
unusual
yes,
fungus.
I do, and she reaches down and she starts to unbury what's in a pile. As Rictus comes up, goes, can I offer any of you a drink?
Yes, I would.
He
Please.
picks up some old cups that are just kind of like literally laying on the floor, hands you one, and starts looking around and pulls up a bottle of some undiscernible liquid, and uncorks it and pours you some. Anybody else need a nightcap?
I'm good, thank you.
I'd have some myself, but it's kind of wasted on me. And he stops it up and just kind of tosses it back in. Well, we survive on the kindness of Sister Vrumadi.
Don't be rude.
See, we understand what we look like. We were not given this affliction willingly. This was brought upon us, and because of how good of a soul Sister Vrumadi is, she understands that a corpse is just dead flesh, and it's just food to us. She allows us to take our pick of whatever freshly dug, interred corpses there are in her cemetery, and well, we don't like the fresher stuff. We try to keep to the stuff that's been rotting for a little bit. So that way we don't. So our tastes don't change. We understand we're monsters. We understand this, but we do our best to be civilized folk. Just because we're monsters doesn't mean we can't have manners.
Well,
Do
coming from
you
one monster
receive
to
any
another. Cheers.
It's fucking awful.
Regardless of what it is, I will.
It's yes.
I will
It
act like-
was wine.
I will act like I enjoy it.
Yeah. And she kind of beams at that. You think, because her countenance doesn't change at all. Her cheeks don't flush because there's no blood in her body to do this. It's just you can feel her. You can hear her bones cracking and rubbing against each other as she moves and smiles.
Sample?
Is it your only source of sustenance?
Oh yes, we would dare not take any living folk and feast upon them. It's just the dead, you see, just the dead. We have ourselves a very good relationship with Sister Vrumadi, and we wouldn't want to do anything to jeopardize that. We understand that if people in Brownwater found out about us, well, they wouldn't take too kindly to us. But
I understand what she does for you, but what do you do for her?
oh, we keep some of the other icky nasties away. There was a bad haven of some carrion folk around here that when we first arrived that we were able to dispatch with.
Are you talking about cannibals?
I'm talking about ghouls that had succumbed to their baser instincts.
Oh, those that are not as
Nice.
enlightened as you.
Why yes, those that have let their minds just simply let the hunger take over, you understand? It's a mighty powerful thing, but we do our best here. We've been living in Brownwater now for well over 20 years. And haven't had an instance yet, though. To be fair, you are the first visitors we have had in our humble home since coming to Brownwater, so you can understand our trepidation. You can see she's trying to laugh and be personable, but it comes off as just incredibly creepy as she laughs, and the sound echoes in her chest.
I will join with them in laughing. It's like, oh, but you have a lovely home.
Oh well, thank you for lying to me. Here, I did take this. Now, please don't think me improper, but we could not eat his flesh. You understand, and that was curious to us, and I didn't know what to really make of it. And,
When you say you can't eat his flesh, it's
What do
like
you mean?
she holds up what appears to be a severed hand,
Oh.
and there are what appears to be boils growing from the hand.
Medicine check.
But
or-
they appear to be. It almost looks like mushrooms or some kind of other fungus is growing from the skin itself. Go ahead, and anybody wants can make a medicine check with disadvantage.
I just
Mine's
gonna ask
regular.
a question.
Which question?
No,
Well, I don't know how you exist,
12.
but I know you know what you like to eat.
You can
And what
see
you
on the hand,
don't like to eat.
the tip of one of the fingers is gone.
Why is this something that you don't like to eat?
Well, my fair husband, he is still sick from trying to ingest just a bite of this, you see, and, well, it's done something to him. He is not quite himself lately.
What did do?
Nothing, it's just he's weaker than normal. He's a bit sluggish. I'm having to do a bit more of the foraging lately. It's just, he's getting better. It's just slow going.
Is
It's
he,
just odd.
Interesting.
Can Jin have cloth
That's
in
my
the right
husband,
hand?
Rictus.
No, is he developing any of the?
Oh no! It's more like he's got the cold or something. It's odd as we don't really, we don't get sick, and this making him sick. Well, if that's in the cemetery, then I had to tell Sister Vrumadi about it. That I don't know if it could get others sick, but this
Well,
is something
this is
very
dead
odd.
flesh.
Well, that's the thing is, if it were, it wouldn't have made him sick.
Anything
So
so
why-
strange about the burial place?
It's a simple stone mausoleum, nothing out of the ordinary.
I'm assuming there's a way to get there from down there. I got 12.
Well,
19.
no, we have to stealth our way in at night, but we do have a place that we can sleep underneath. We have our ways of getting out of the city should word spread that there are unsavory folk about.
Are there any more unsavory folk?
Well, Brownwater is filled to the brim with those type of people, but no others like
the
us.
type of folk that you help Sister Vrumadi.
No, we'd be the only of the unliving of the previously alive, as I like to say. We'd be the only ones that are making our home here, as far as I know.
And what do you know of the Shoga route?
I'm sorry, I don't really know what that is. I wasn't very. I was a dilettante in life.
Well, if you don't know anything about it, then it was probably of none importance to this matter.
Well, that's you have your sample. I would advise you to keep that very, very safe. If you have some kind of sealed container, you could place that in. I would not be touching that with your hands.
No, she has it wrapped up in the thing again.
That's okay. I
Should have precautions.
would definitely not try to eat it. It'll probably make you sicker than it made my husband.
But don't worry about
It's
that. I don't think we'll eat that.
Oh, by the
That's
way,
good.
I got a 19 on that.
No idea. You've never seen or heard of anything like this. It's the hand is still flesh colored. It doesn't look like it's decomposed at all. It just has the almost cancerous growths that seem to be forming on it. That each of them have like a slight greenish tint to them at the end. They don't look angry. They don't look like any infection that any of you have seen. They don't look like anything that you guys have seen. They almost look like it's a sprouting patch of mushrooms.
Well, so, in your expert opinion, that is not dead flesh.
It doesn't smell like it, doesn't taste like it, according to my husband. It's like, oh no, oh God, that tasted so terrible. Oh.
Like what?
Does it taste like flesh at all?
No,
What it tastes like?
Interesting.
nothing I've ever tasted before in life or death. I mean, I haven't really tasted anything besides this in a long time, but you see, it's the smell and everything. It really gets the hunger going, and that did not do it. I was just kind of more curious than anything. I mean, the body's been in there a month. We thought it'd be about time to go ahead and try us some good old Holland. He was a good man as far as I hear, and we thought he could do one more good thing in life and help us sustain ourselves. And well, it did not go that way. Apparently, he's a disagreeable man, at least upon my own constitution.
How can you two stave off what made the others
The hunger.
crazy?
Oh, well, and he reaches behind him and pulls out a book of Sabbath. Well, my faith. I mean, it's Sabbath's will. I mean, as I don't understand exactly why she had us be affected by this malady, testing us, as it were. But, well, we've risen to this challenge, and we have shown that we don't have to hurt others in order to, live our life even with the way that we currently are.
Well, I have to say that you are
Very admirable.
a most powerful testament for Sabbath.
Well, I thank you. As Sabbath teaches us, not all is as it appears to be.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me into home. She need to go examine.
As I bid you good night.
Thanks.
I hope that goes without saying that this little conversation will stay just between
Never
us.
happened.
No
We
one
will.
else outside this room, and Sister Vrumadi needs to hear about our ordeal.
No,
Of course.
Well,
But I would
your
like-
secret is safe with me.
Oh, that is mighty kind of you. We just wanted to help out Brownwater. See, as much as it is brimming with the undesirables. There is plenty of good folk here, and you don't want to see them getting sick, like obviously poor Holland was.
Yes. And once my body is nothing but a shell, I do hope that it's buried here.
Well, you do look mighty tasty, so I look forward to that day.
Hopefully not too soon. But
Don't get tiefling too much around here. It is time for us to make our rounds, and this is the first night Rick is going to be able to join me, so we have precious little time to
Happy feasting.
for our grocery shopping, as it were.
Of course. Happy feasting. Let's go. Turn off light.
Good Robert.
No, sir. We don't. We leave all valuables where they are. We don't do any of that. It's just simply for the need to eat. That's it. We are respectable folks.
No. Let's go. We turn off light for.
As the two ladies, you guys are walking away. Maribel steps forward and if you all would ever have a need of finding yourselves something pretty to wear. I don't get out to shopping much these days. If you guys would happen to find something in my size that you could let go for a pittance, I would be more than desired to purchase something like that from you.
Is she about my size?
Actually, she probably wasn't in life, but in death, yeah, she's skinny.
Okay,
She is Fiona Apple.
We can cheer and fun. We can go and find
That's probably
something.
before most of your time.
But we go and find something.
I feel like that's ringing a bell, but only like.
Thank you.
I think I did before my time.
I appreciate it, and I hope you all can put this matter to rest right quick, so that way no one else happens to get sick like this poor man did.
Of course. Thank you again for inviting us to home. And we look for dress.
As the hinges of the door creak closed, and the two ghoul creatures you leave alone in their own abode. As you walk away, and that faint scent of rotting flesh and grave earth slowly disappears behind you, we're going to go ahead and we're going to call it there for tonight. With you all thinking about what your strange interaction.
I have a perfect comment.
open
What you were being nice, I guess.
No. I was just gonna nudge somebody while we walked away.
Well, I think I can be quite amenable to working with them if the need arises.
So, a very interesting game session with you all having a little bit of Halloween thrown in at the end. As you all had yourselves a nice battle, an ambush that turned out to be a harder fight than what was expected. Led to some interesting acquisitions from that group. Odd though the nature of that group still hangs in the air, may be worth looking into. A great many things appear to be happening within Brownwater that are all vying for your attention. What will our heroes, which way will they go? Well, thank you all very, very much for joining me tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. And 4th level. And I hope you guys enjoy this new critical and fumble system as much as I do. And other systems that may be coming up. You guys stay tuned for that. Thank you all very much for joining us. I want to thank our sponsors once again: Military Gamer Supply, Game Vault, Dyson Dudes. Well, that's us. I meant David's Tiles and Terrain. Excuse me. It's already 30 till midnight. I hope you all have yourselves a very, very happy Halloween. If you're taking your kids out tomorrow, be safe. Have a great time. Watch a horror movie tonight or tomorrow. It's a great time to do it. It's the best time of the year. We do have some very special things upcoming. We have our next Dudes on Dudes going up Friday, correct?
Or is it already it? I think
The one with Vince and Paul.
I'm trying to recall if I've even done. I don't think I've uploaded it.
Okay, so
I'll
probably
have to take a
Friday.
look, it probably,
So that one's probably going up on Friday, and tomorrow. Well, you think it'll be ready in time?
That one's already set to go.
Okay, so tomorrow we will have a very special
About 1 o'clock.
Call of Cthulhu one shot going live at 1 o'clock for your Halloween viewing pleasure. I hope you guys enjoy it. These guys loved it so much that they want me to make it a monthly thing. So very much look forward to that.
No.
Just as a hint of what's to come, a certain play may be in their future. if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know how interesting that can be. But thank you all very, very much for joining us tonight. To our new subscribers, welcome. We hope you guys enjoy the show. If you guys want to get in contact with us, definitely, you can comment on our videos. You can hit us up on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Mixer or any of that stuff. I'm not super technologically savvy, so hit us up wherever you can. If you guys have questions for the next Dudes on Dudes, that'd be number 4. That will be happening here in the next couple of weeks. We'll be looking back on October. So if you guys have any questions on anything that happened in October, let us know. Thank you all for joining us again. Thank you guys for joining me. Have yourselves a great night. Remember to keep rolling those dice. Good night.